Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures a little bit mixed at this point. We had early strength coming back to the downside right now, led by the NASDAQ in particular, has gone negative already. We saw a very strong close and a lot of strong individual names going into the close yesterday that lifted the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ back into positive territory. But tech stocks back under pressure in the early going this morning. The 10-year back to the upside this morning, back to 165, 166. We'll talk about that coming up. Chinese stocks under pressure in the early going here on news of some planes, some Chinese Air Force planes flying through some Taiwanese airspace. So heads up if you're looking at the Baidus, the JD.coms of the world, and Alibaba as well. Moving to the downside, overall the futures in positive territory initially, with the banks leading the way after the Fed said they will look to resume buybacks and allow the banks to resume buybacks and dividends by the end of June of this year. So we'll have a look at some of the big banks. GME back on watch. GameStop shares higher in the pre-market as well after yesterday's impressive rally into the close. And we'll look at NEO shares under pressure. Individual news regarding NEO as well. It's Friday, March 26th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at North American futures there. You can see the NASDAQ, back to the downside, 0.5% in negative territory. Both the Dow and S&P positive so far, but a little more negative sentiment and movement coming back into the markets. TSX here in Toronto, the futures pointing to a positive open. You can see Bitcoin back to the upside today, 1.5%. Crude oil is sharply higher again, 2%. It's been a volatile week. Gold as well, little change this morning in negative territory, but lots of headlines moving the market so far this morning, guys, in the early going. We mentioned oil there back higher after yesterday's dip. That canal is still blocked. That container ship remains across the Suez Canal. Last I checked, there was 223 ships waiting in a line to get through the canal. So it's going to be a while, I think.
Gotta get that graphic again.
A while is probably an understatement for that one. When you start hearing about the logistics of the way it's caught and a lot of rerouting, and I think that's going to take extra time. It's going to be definitely expensive. So you already had some supply chain issues, and we talked about this with Mark Roberts. There were already issues when it came to delays on the supply chain before this happened. But the big story is, Sean, as you mentioned when you came in, 20 fighter jets. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Fantastic. Oh, look, I love something.
I got it.
20 fighter jets. Anyways, I'm just looking at Baidu right here because you don't really see moves like this in the pre-market. It's actually kind of crazy. It's actually finding a bit of support here, down like over 10% now from the top. It's going to say 5%, but we're gapping up on a lot of these names that were under pressure. So Baidu was actually looking like it was going to open to significant gains, up $10, $15 in the pre-market. And now you're essentially trading down $10. So big time movement. This is the biggest one I could find. Actually, Tencent is moving pretty big as well. Alibaba was only down like 1 or 2% for what that's worth. And your GameStops are moving. This is going to be a wild end to the week. We've talked about this a lot. I mean, it's a good look for the banks. But yesterday had that feeling to it of the what we really want to call it, like the fake out down, and then we'd have some stocks that would pop, and we managed to catch a little bit of that. But today, I can't say I have exactly the same feeling today. I'm hopeful about the banks in some regard, but some of these small caps, some of these NFT names, I feel like there's going to be some weakness in those.
We also have BOEX today. I tried to go long on a 1020 break. I wrote it down. It's on here. You can see the sticky note is now up. There it is, 1020 in the middle there. It's up on Twitter. I just posted it. But yeah, I tried to go long 1020, but it's blocked on our system because it was basically a nothing stock. And we have to, certain compliance rules and things like that. So it's blocked. We're going to try to get this unblocked. But I loved that 1020 break there on BOEX. It came up a couple times. CEO. This is going to be WeWork, a SPAC. I hate it because it's a SPAC, but it's the WeWork SPAC there, and that 1020 was an easy punch long, and I loaded it up and swung and missed because we're not able to trade it right now. So that'll be blocked out, and then you have GameStop coming through as well today with big moves yesterday afternoon, big moves yesterday period, and then today. Still BOEX. And then today, 180. So basically yesterday closed right kind of where we are now, 187. But look at this, man. Once it started popping yesterday in the afternoon, it started to go along with AMC. But the one trade that we did like a lot today, I want to talk about just because it just came in here for a longer term play. Look, I've been buying Alibaba throughout this whole time, and now it's actually even lower than where I was my last buy of 220 or 222, something like that. But yeah, look where we are right now. We're right back to these lows. Whether or not we get to 210 or something today, it's not great news. I already hit the airplane animation. We'll hit it again now. We're gonna have to watch what happens here, man. The CCP just keeps on getting in everyone's way, man. Whether it's NIO, Tesla, Alibaba here, and there's many more names that have been influenced. We saw Starbucks, we saw Nike. Yes, 2 days ago, Nike there. With that gift, by the way, I hope you guys capitalized on that. I talked about buying Nike hand over fist at 125. Congratulations, 131 in just a day, and the market hasn't even been that good. So there's Nike. We had a huge win on this yesterday, and wow, does that need to be bought right down here? I can't believe I missed that. I wasn't able to get in as we're not able to put on positions while we're on the show. So, okay, Brendan, big day ahead. It looks like we thought it was going to be maybe a little slow on a Friday here, but a NASDAQ bouncing, now making a move back to the upside. So let's get this show started.
Yeah, quick start. Lots of volatility in the pre-market here. I just saw again, guys, Microsoft. There's more rumors floating around about Discord. So. That is still lingering in the background. Remember, there was discussions between the two apparently on a possible $10 billion team up for Microsoft and Discord. Let's get things started off by heading over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, Brandon, and happy Friday, traders. I wish you a positive, profitable day. Please go long on the like button, and let's get it started, Brandon.
I like that. Yeah, go long on the like button, go long on the subscribe button as well, guys. We're getting very close to 200,000 subscribers. We appreciate the support. If you're joining us for the first time, we do this every single morning, guys, that the market is open. So join us, won't you, every single day. And tell a friend while you're at it. On Monday, bring a friend with you. Let's talk about a few things that we need to be aware of going into the morning. We're going to get some inflation data coming up at 9:30. That could be a market mover as well. Obviously, the market has been paying close attention to this U.S. 10-year. I can show you this quote again. We are back to the upside, unfortunately, once again this morning. So some of these growth stocks under pressure. Yeah, you can see 165.8, 166. Yesterday, we were back to 159, 16 around there. So, yeah, a little bit of an uptick here for the U.S. 10-year, guys, which explains some pressure on the NASDAQ again.
It's a little bit of pressure. I feel like at least that relationship has calmed down to some degree. I mean, it's the best I could say. You know, if you're going to get a bigger move than what we've already seen, at least in the 10-year, I would have expected. You see a lot of times like Tesla's been a bit of a bellwether there, and you can look at your Apples and your Facebooks and as well. But you know, basically for them to be trading flat, there was that dip down to just right at that 600 bottom on Tesla, and it's basically leveling off here in the pre-market. Just to show you guys on the higher time frame here, this is sort of what I meant. Like, you got that big dip, and we talked about that, you know, dip down and maybe a bit of a fake out and then bounce back in the morning. Yesterday, that was sort of the theme of our beginning of the show, and we're basically right back to the same levels on Tesla. So it's almost like a much ado about nothing, despite the negative move in treasuries, at least related to the tech name. So it's a bit of a bullish take, I would say, for these names. But if that extends any further, if you start pushing into that, you know, that 1.7 territory, it's going to be hard for Tesla to hold like a 635, and then it's back to that shopping list thing where you're looking for some of those dip buys. And you know, patience tends to be the way to play these games. I am looking specifically on Tesla. I still like about a 660 to 666, which is kind of ominous for a resistance point. So you know, any longs into that I think are a good spot, but probably looking for a reversal if it gets there, at least the first time through. But eyeballing that for a couple of days now and haven't really had a shot at it. Yesterday couldn't quite get there despite the strength that it showed.
From tech to big banks. I mean, I think this is also going to be on our watch list, and we'll talk about these all day. I'm going to look at BAC today, bouncing near 30. I mean, it's on the watch list on the sticky note, so it's everywhere. 38.50 right here. We're just going to see if that can hold. Hopefully, it can break, and then we'll go longer through 38.50. I like BAC. I like JP Morgan again. Stress tests, and now able to buy back shares and able to increase dividends and things like that. I think that's going to be monstrous for a lot of bank investors, and including myself. So we're very, very happy with that. 156 maybe on JP Morgan here. A couple tops recently. It did break that and ripped to 162. But if you do zoom in a little bit here, we do have some 156 tops. So, I mean, if we get to that, it's only 154 right now. We'll check in on the imbalance locator quickly. There's not anything really on there. We will talk about NEO. That, again, bad news here, shutting down production for 5 days. I can't believe 5 days sends the stock tumbling. What is it now? 10%? Oh, 7%. Okay, so it's battled back a little bit there from that little wick. But anyways, down 7%, and then plus the Chinese news, not great. And then AMC today with another buy-off open, man. These meme stocks, I traded AMC yesterday, just finally at the close was able to trade it. Okay, that's the daily chart, so that doesn't help anybody. Here at the close, we did make a little run. Just watching GameStop and watching how that trades. A lot of the time you can go back and forth. It's like almost like GameStop's a leading indicator a little bit for AMC if GameStop starts going crazy. And I show you yesterday, look, this was 230. I hope I'm right here, guys. This is actually, okay, there it is, good. And then there's 230 on GameStop, right? And so they're both kind of trading one in the same. I prefer AMC, although I know in our company, Day Trade the World, there's a hell of a lot more money being made and lost on GameStop. It's much more of a wild ride, and if you have the buying power and you have the shares to do it and sort of the guts to trade GameStop, then yeah, you will be rewarded heavily or punished heavily one way or the other. But GameStop today is going to be a big one, man. We've checked the daily chart; it's now right back in these ranges. Who knows where the right spot to buy this name is, but it has consolidated in and around this, basically where this 50-period moving average is, like 130, 120, 118, 115. It's hard to pick an exact spot, but it looks like the GameStop game continues here and has no intentions of slowing down. We thought it was over after earnings. We're wrong.
All right, we're going to have a look at the economic calendar here. My platform has not adjusted to our time, guys. So this says 9:30, but obviously that is incorrect. So I want to show you this one here. The consumption number down 1% versus negative 0.7 expected. So core PCE prices as well, 1.4% versus 1.5. So that was the, I mean, it didn't really hurt the futures. We did actually bounce off that a little bit, but let's bring in Mark Roberts here from Sun Lake Strategies, president of Sun Lake Strategies, to get his take on what to expect for a Friday. Good morning, Mark. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. When we spoke way back on Monday, we were talking about the market kind of looking for the next catalyst, the next reason to move. We've had a lot of volatility in individual areas this week, but it's been interesting because there really hasn't been that overall driver in one direction for the market.
No, there's been many tangents, whether it's the dollar, it's the 10-year, it's some earnings, it's Mr. Biden. You pick your poison. You just have to stay very, very nimble. Chart patterns have been a home run for those that watch moving averages, which takes us back to the Q&A the other week. But it's been fabulous trading.
Lots of volatility in individual names. I want to touch on the energy group to start. We had the canal blocked, still blocked. It's going to be a while, I think. The last number I saw, as I mentioned, 200 plus ships waiting in line to get through that canal. And they're still digging in the dirt on the side of it to try and get this ship released. However, moved down yesterday in energy stocks and oil prices. We're seeing a bounce today. Is there anything you like there?
EOG, I like Apache, Hess, CVX, those names. As I mentioned about a week ago, keep your eye on the refiners, the VLO, HFC, PSX going into the first week of April. Refining stocks may get a nice bounce.
What's your take on some of these Chinese names this morning? We touched on that story, the Chinese military flying 20 planes through Taiwan airspace, the safe zone or the Taiwanese airspace. That instantly sent Baidu, Alibaba, NIO all sharply to the downside. NIO also with individual news this morning, as we touched on, with the factory shutdown because of the chip, I should say, shortage. What's your take on this Chinese negativity this morning?
I do not trade them. I paper trade them, and I've been short all of them now for weeks. They are my least favorite. I wouldn't go anywhere near them. When they get to an absolute bottom where that rubber band is completely stretched, yeah, I would day trade them. I would not get overly involved. In fact, that's held me back from buying Nike for that same reason of Nike making comments about what's going on in some of the camps in China. Nike's a favorite, but I'm afraid of stepping in too early.
All right. Hey, Mark, I was talking about Nike just yesterday, and we were able to, hey, how's it going, Mark, by the way? You're looking good there. The Stockfather, people loving that name. That name's a couple months old now, and I don't think we'll ever let it down, but president of Sun Lake Strategies, thank you so much for being part of our show and contributing, like you mentioned, on that Q&A, and then 3 times a week. It's been absolutely amazing, Mark. Thank you so much. I like Nike. I mean, first of all, I want to talk about banks, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up there. But you know what? I understand the rhetoric with China and things like that. It's just, I love the name that Nike has, the brand, the appeal there. You talked about Lululemon, things like that. I don't know where Lulu clothes are made. I know they're obviously originating from a Canadian company, but I think any sort of retail that has exposure to China is going to be, a little bit in trouble here, especially if the government starts flexing their muscle. And we did hear from Nike the other day on this 4% dip. Here's the chart. I was thinking, Mark, and maybe I'm wrong, and maybe you can give us, I have a feeling you may be saying 120, maybe even 115 or so. But this level of 125, like yesterday, I was long and made a lot of money there in the afternoon as it started to go back upside. But yeah, what is there a level that you're comfortable in? You talked about elastic band, rubber band effect, and I know that means, just for everybody watching, it's when the sellers just pressure too much to the downside, and then you get that snapback. I don't think we're going to get a capitulation or anything downward on Nike, just because there's buyers all the time on big stocks like this. But is there a level that maybe our traders for the longer term, I don't want to talk about day trades, I'm talking about maybe if you're thinking about starting a portfolio or maybe looking 1, 2, 3 years down the road, I think Nike can be bought right now, but where do you see maybe that rubber band going down to? Is 120 something reasonable, Mark?
117 to 120, pick your level in there. There are mini gaps. I like those to be filled. And you've got the 200-day moving average at 123.86. Yeah. Again, a level, but somewhere in that 118, 117, 120 area looks fabulous.
I guess back, it looks like on Halloween we dipped down to about 119 there, and then you get that. That's probably earnings right there in September. So a big move. Okay, I'm a big, and I think you are too, as portfolio managers and holding on to shares and managing money and things like that and being diversified. The bank sector has been an absolute gem for the last 6 months. We've talked about that rally. This is an unbelievable move. I mean, not even 6 months. It's even 3 months back to November, December area. What a move up. It's almost straight up. This is the 50-period moving average that I have on my list here. We dipped down a little bit back in February, but since then, it's just been a rocket ship to the north side. And now, Mark, we get news that the Federal Reserve lifting restrictions on dividends and share buybacks. I like JPM consistently for a portfolio, but I think for a trade, Bank of America right now looking good, breaking out higher, I think, down to 38.50. I love a 38.50 break. We've talked to you about Morgan Stanley in the past. Wow, $82, $81 here now today. What a move for Morgan Stanley off the bottom as well. If there's a bank, can we pick one? Can you recommend one for the next couple months, or maybe even a good day trade today? What would you be looking at with this new Fed news?
I think on the inside, I'd look at Morgan Stanley. On the outside, I'd look at Wells Fargo. Those are two names that have a lot of love at Morgan Stanley and less love Wells Fargo. everybody I talk to is in JP Morgan.
Yeah.
I think Wells Fargo may have more bounce to it.
Okay, well, we'll check out Wells Fargo. And I mean, I think that they'll all probably increase dividends when capable, and we'll probably get a sort of a swarm of that. How important is it that traders do have some exposure to banks in their portfolio? You talked about picking, I think it was on our Q&A, picking 10 names that you like and sort of going with that. Would you, at this point, if we were to start fresh, would you include any of these big banks? Would you go to more regional banks, or you know, if there was a starting spot right now for someone that's putting money in and they say, you know what, one of my 10 names needs to be a financial. I mean, you know what, Mark? I'm even going to give you the opportunity to choose maybe a Square or PayPal as well, because I know they're not traditional like these banks, but where would we start? And if you could give us one or two names for starting a portfolio if you had to choose one in the financial sector.
Well, first of all, let's step back quickly. I think the economy is going to recover. Vaccines are coming on. It will help the economy. With the economy comes higher rates. With higher rates, you've got to be in financials. I've got 30% of my portfolio in financials. Whether it's a PayPal, a Square, probably I would go toward PayPal.
Right.
The fintechs are here for good. There's no question. I think some of the more standard financials are going to get more and more into it. That means Goldman Sachs, eventually the Morgan Stanleys of the world. And don't forget, a lot of these have already bought the discount brokers and these wealth managers that everybody's putting on their phones. It's all interrelated.
Yeah, good call. I actually forgot about that with all the E-Trades and all those mini brokers being bought up. And then we have Robinhood filing for an IPO as well. I just want to bring it up to everybody here that you do have the XLF, of course, which is a select spider ETF for financials. So that could be a big basket there. If you weren't certain on which bank to choose, you could see that, again, a beautiful move up. Mark, PayPal was my call of 2020. I appreciate you dropping that name as well. But that's Mark Roberts from Sun Lake Strategies. Have an amazing weekend. Stay healthy, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you again, Mark Roberts.
All right, and also one more.
Sure.
Keep your eye on LB.
Okay, that's brands, not Taylor Brands. Right, L Brands. Why is that? Victoria's Secret? Are you just
Everything? Yep, explosive earnings. So I think this may give you some great trading opportunities.
Yeah, I have the chart up here. Yeah, thanks, Mark. That was not even on my radar. Yeah, L Brands here, just absolutely breaking out in the retail sector. So yeah, it looks like it's heading to the north side here through $63. Mark Roberts, 6% on L Brands, but you give us way more love than that. So thank you so much, Mark. Continued success, and we'll talk to you next week.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, guys, let's go to upgrades and downgrades. Interesting, he said that. We have guests on here as well today. It's had a bit of a volatile week, but yeah, guess up as well in the pre-market here. Telsey Advisory, $24 price target on that. Jeffrey's liking Altria today. This is not AMC that you think it is. This is AMC Networks. AMCX is the stock. Just a heads up on that. Wells Fargo to the downside on that one. Guys.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to make that mistake, guys, for sure. I mean, Guess actually looks interesting on the upgrade. It's not going to be, this is not necessarily going to ever be a sort of a day trading type of name because of the volume, but you do look at that bounce. We look at these pullbacks, you look at those clusters, and you look at these little dips in, and 2150 is already bounced, trying to round back up. And I think there might have been, there's probably more appealing names. I was with Sean with the Nike thing, didn't think that news would keep it down for too long there. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And you look at this space, and it's going to be an interesting one if people are going to be spending again. I mean, you see what you've seen what some retail has done. I mean, L Brands, I mean, RH, I almost said Restoration Hardware. RH, I mean, wow. Furniture business, they're expanding their business. I think it's going to be a fantastic run for some of these consumer names, to be sure. And just add Guess maybe to that list on the upgrade, although L Brands, much more impressive chart, I'd say.
Yeah, he sort of slipped that one in there. I mean, I've been looking at L Brands, but honestly, man, you guys have heard me. I am not really into too many retail names. So, I mean, I'm a holder of Walmart, but these little smaller ones here, L Brands, I guess, wow, continues to go. I don't even want to look back to see what it was in March. Like, this was probably left for dead crazy back, where was it here? March, September, August, I have to find it. But $14 up to $62 just from June of 2020, guys. Straight upside for LB. So a good look from Mark Roberts on this one.
All right, guys, let's have a look at what is moving around in the pre-market. If you haven't done so already, make sure you head over to the brand new website and register so you can get your copy on a daily basis of the morning note. We send it out every single day before we come on at 8:30. Valeria will help you out in the chat if you need that link. Let's start off with NIO, I should say. NIO, the ticker. We'll talk about the negativity here surrounding it. I mean, also a Chinese name, but they came out and said that they're going to have to suspend production for 5 days in their, what is it, Hefei? Manufacturing facility, and this is all in relation to the semiconductor shortage, the global semiconductor shortage. Ford also doing that this weekend as well, guys.
Yeah, you're going to get a bit of a different reaction between NIO and Ford on that type of news, and I think that sort of bodes to what we've been saying in the last little bit here in terms of your exposure to the EV space and where it's a little bit safer to play. Now, we already got this. What I thought, it seemed like yesterday, you get this like 34.50. It's the higher low off that after that March 5th, or that crazy move to the downside that we had, culminating in the bounce off 32. And you really did think the higher low had got put in, and then just like that, we're going to be retesting it. So, I mean, you can look towards today's low of the day at 34.65. I think, obviously, I'm going to be looking just a little bit hair lower, 34.60 yesterday's bottom, 34.50 on NIO. If it's going to hold that level, and for NIO, holding the level kind of means give it a little bit to break through. Maybe it's like 5-10 cents. And then if it can hold, maybe come right back to the upside. Then there's your dip buy. But if it holds lower than that, I can see us testing that early March bottom down around that 32. The market's basically close enough to flat. We just got a bit of a bounce off 12.7 in the NASDAQ. So, I mean, you do have to watch out, because if we do get like a turn to positive and then a bit of a rally in the tech space, the higher value names tend to run with it. So if you're on the short side of a NIO trade, you definitely have to watch out for that. But my first look is to see if you can hold yesterday's low, because I see that dip. I saw Baidu sort of bounce and consolidate, hold at that bottom. Some of the other Chinese names there holding at their lows. And if you can hold yesterday's bottom, I think there's going to be there's too much of an upside to come back in to not try that long. But if it breaks through 34.50 and holds an offer below that, I'll probably flip to a short side trade because you can't fight the tape on NIO. No way, no how. Not the way that it's fallen when it goes down. I mean, you can see on the 15-minute what these wicks look like, right? You have to have the ability to change direction on a key level move. Otherwise, you're going to get burned. That's exactly what happened in the morning, yesterday's session. So I would anticipate you might see the same thing again today. I'm prepared to go both ways.
Yeah, you have to do exactly what Neil just mentioned there, and that is try to buy some of those dips or just watch out for some of those key levels as it goes. I just tweeted out right now. You can follow on Twitter, of course. We tweeted out our sticky note. We put $35 on that note for NIO. Here's Vuzi, that's also on the list. And then right now, let's talk a little bit of crypto. Crypto was a little crazy yesterday, and I want to know if anyone bought that ADA dip there yesterday. Remember we talked about it dipping to $1. There it goes down to $1.03 yesterday, and then up to $1.21 today. So a big move there for Cardano, and that's a smooth 15% in one day off that dollar move there. So that's a good one. But yeah, NIO. Look, I mean, we could keep. You know what? Let's talk about XPEV then. Let's go to another Chinese name, and another beloved tech name for China that was at one point battling NIO and sort of going to the upside and just continuing, like it didn't want to stop back into November, December. We've seen a lot of movement there, even with NIO, with Tesla when it reached 900. But look at this, just getting hammered all the way. I mean, this is sad. Like $75 top, man. We're down to 30. It is cut in half, very, very similar to NIO, except for even more dramatic. So People are saying that with the testing, they have the longest automated driver test, I think, ever, or happening in China right now as we speak, and completed. So there is a possibility here for autonomous driving for XPEV. And again, I'm not familiar with the make or the build of the car itself, but if you are looking for something that may get some love at some point, I do like XPEV if it does break above this 3180 level. So if you want to look at another name other than NIO, I think XPEV around 32 probably breaks out, and then we'll see if it tests this 33 high of yesterday afternoon. So I think you got $1 there if it breaks 32.
Yeah, the entire group under pressure today. Lee Auto, another one as well in that group, to the downside in the pre-market here. Let's bring in Arun and have a look at the overall market. We'll see what levels we need to be aware of on the futures this morning, Arun. Here we are, another day. We're back to 3,900. Seems like the magnet continues.
Yeah, you know, we started this this week off fairly quiet, and here we moved around a decent amount inside of a range, broke out of the range yesterday, and then re-entered the range today. Here we are, right back where we started earlier this week. So what do we do in a situation like that? You kind of have to go back to Monday, and I would approach this the same way I approach Monday: is you have to have your ranges, you have to play within those ranges, and then you got to take your shots if they set up. But otherwise, I would stay quiet in a market like this, the way it's moving around now. The NASDAQ is just under 0.25% down. ES is just under 0.25% up. So they're on opposing sides. So tech weakness seems to be the case there. So what do we do? 3865 is a support base that I've got on the bottom end for the range. So anything below 3,900 going down to 3,865. I'd like to find some longs if we can get a decent setup, again, because it's, you know, stuck inside of a range. I'm going to be a little bit more selective in what I take. So 3,900 going down to 3,865. I'd like to find some support, some sort of a setup. I'm willing to take that shot on the buy side. Now, if we get above 3,920, then that level 39.20 to 39.45 has been in play for, you know, over a week and a half now. So that is still in play. So if we can get above 20 and find some sort of a setup, especially around, you know, what I've noticed is that between 39.25 and 39.30, there is a huge chunk of sell side action there. So preferably closer to that 25 to 30 mark, but anything above 39.20, I am open to finding a short if we can find a proper setup. Again, those are the ranges, play within them, expect a quiet day, but be prepared if there is a setup that either takes one of those ranges out, or even if it sets up within the ranges, you do have options there, but just be selective in how you trade those.
Great stuff. Have a great weekend, Arun. We'll check back in again on Monday. Under 30 minutes to go here, guys, before the market is open for Friday. Let's get to GameStop. Big move yesterday, to say the least. We were up 50+% on the day yesterday. We're higher again here in the pre-market. 200 staring us right in the face here, guys, for GME.
Yeah, it's crazy because you joke about numbers like 200, and we said that right at the end of the show. I actually had a 170 short that was. I feel like I didn't do as well as I should have with it, because I probably should have been able to make a down in that like one, you know, at least $10, and I ended up taking like 5, and it was, I don't know, I guess maybe I didn't have enough conviction, and it is what it is on that short trade. But I mean, we did get to that 200 mark. I was staring some of these levels, and I think we did talk about this, I'm pretty sure, yesterday on this. Like 200, like 198, you get that test in. There was a false break, and I know because I had this break on the 23rd, trying to go long when it originally broke that 2. It couldn't get to like 202, and we're essentially in that same little range. You did a similar thing the session before. We had a bit of a deeper break through 205, and it sold out at 210, and it just sort of feels like we might see that same thing going into the Friday. If it gets up to that 230 level, that's probably where I want to be fading it. That's the one that I wrote down. I wrote down like 230 to 32. That if it gets to there, it's not about guessing that it's going to be short, but if I see enough of like a big wick and a consolidation shy of that price, you know, into that like 225, something along those lines, I think I would try rolling into a bit of a short. I will not take, after the last week's experience, I look at that 204 top. 930 breakouts long have not worked for me on GameStop. It's like either you get out right away for a nice little winner. Usually it's guesswork. And the downside, it's just hasn't made it worth it for that type of a trade. But certainly there are those like later in the session awesome opportunities. And this is what I'm talking about here. Like at 10:45, you had this like secondary breakout, which was fantastic yesterday. You had this little double top that was really good around lunchtime. So patience is a virtue. It's really tricky in GameStop early on. So I won't be taking any breaks, but certainly I'll be hunting around for some of those key levels, and especially the reversal if I get it at 2:30.
Okay, so with that talk, I just went long. So we just took a break. And again, we're just going to try it, man, at 202. So we're long right now at 202.18. We could get out right now at 202.50, but we're not taking 30 cents on GameStop, guys. So let's just see, just trying to test this one. Here it is, $1 now in the money and going up higher and higher. So let's see how far it wants to go. But we are long 202.18 right now on GameStop. Neil talking about that 204 level. We'll see what does come through on that. But right now, 203.25. So nicely in the money. You can see where we're long. Oh, does it show it at the bottom? No, that's my profit, right? So it does show that we're in. So in the money now, $1.50. And I'm just going to give it back to this VWAP, or this is this is the 1 minute VWAP, 197.50. This is 198.50. Give it a little bit more downside. Here we go. Nice way to start the day here. Let's see if we can't capitalize on this up to 210. Here is a 20 period. I always say that. A 20-minute chart. This is that 210 level that we stopped at a couple days ago last week. I get the 19th. It was Friday. The highest we got was right here, 225. So we'll probably just hold this and see what's going on. But right now, a $4 winner, sorry, what am I talking about? A $2 winner. Oh, yeah. Right now on GameStop. So I'm just, I'm looking at these levels, 212, 210, something like that. I have no idea, but right now we're holding this one for as it goes through 205. So a nice little win to start the day here. I mean, it's not a win until you get out, but we'll take this. So far, so good. 202.18 long right now on GME, guys.
All right, let's talk about Vuzix Incorporation. This one has been very volatile as well over the past week or two. Electronic equipment maker. They make screens and those 3D AR goggles as well. There's an offering this morning. I mean, there's no significant news. It is down, but $85 million share offering. 4.15 million shares at 20.5 for VUZI.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've seen trying to hold a higher low here off of that offering. You talk about that price, and sometimes there's gravity into that offering price, and that does give you some room into that bottom. Just watch out. There is this 21 level from yesterday's low that could get a little bit defended. Despite the fact it's done 1 million shares, just to give you an idea of what the level 2 looks like, I'm just going to show you here, guys. You have a bit of a spread that's in the stock of VUZI. So it's while it's liquid, it's not necessarily going to be as liquid as some people might anticipate. It's not the same thing as trading over in an NIO or something along those lines. Either way, I like this current like 2150 level. What I actually do prefer, however, is you watch this like 2250 to 23. If you get a bounce and some chop at 930, if it catches any kind of a bid off of this, I want to be fading into VUZI, but down 17%. It looks like a bit of a fade to me. In addition to just, I know GameStop's moving to the upside. Watch it, because AMC, it has been following a little bit lock and step, but right now it's lagging and trying to test its high and just running into resistance shy of that. So on today's trade, at least, it looks like AMC could be a little bit of a lagger to GameStop.
Yeah, I mean, it just touched 208 there, basically, and now coming back in a little bit. That might have been the move. And I'm willing to, I mean, my hold is back to 197. I'm willing to take a $5 hit on this one to see if we can't, keep it going, keep the momentum going to the upside here. That might have been like the 9 o'clock bump, people logging in, getting their accounts all loaded up, and it started here at 198, ripped all the way to 208. So let's see if it has some legs now. We just tweeted that out as well. VUZI, it's on my list today, so we're going to have to talk about it a little bit. I like this 21 breaking spot. Actually, that's on a 1 minute chart. 21 breaking down here, that's that bottom from the yesterday. Again, it's a flushed bottom. It's a share offering. Those haven't been good. We've seen how that was not well received over with Palantir, DoorDash, a few other. That DoorDash was a share lockup, but so was Palantir. But share offerings, do some damage to stocks. We've seen that over and over and over again with DraftKings and a few of the names we love. So even though I like VUZI for longer term, it's in the right space. But I just think that a 21 break opens up a little bit of floodgates, and then we probably get 20. We probably get 1950, and then we may even retrace back down here to the 50-period moving average. So I like a 21 break. The order's already in. Let's just see how high it flies or low it goes. That's Vuzi. We'll watch that, and I'm still watching this GameStop top here of 207.73. Again, might just fall down, and this just turns out to be a losing trade. But so far, I'm pretty happy with the action. Let's see if it holds that 200. If not, then we'll be flashing out here about 197, 198-ish.
All right, let's go to NFT stocks. This group has been wild, to say the least, all week long. No significant news as far as additional entrants, I guess, to the group this week, but a lot of names now associated with these NFTs. I mean, there's that W Key, OCG, YVR, Dolphin Entertainment, Hall of Fame, all of the ones we've been talking about. Under pressure, though, today, as we've seen, over the past couple of sessions, showing relative strength in the pre-market, guys.
Yeah, it's interesting because as you say that, I'm looking at W Key just pulling right back in. It actually just made a dollar move about 20 minutes ago. It's still up 3%, but as fast as these try to come up, they run into some resistance and come back down. I was actually watching this sort of on the side here as it tried to creep up right into this level here. This 16 to 1650 on W Key would have been an obvious fade for me, but there was all kinds of chop here too, around 15 to 1550. So I feel like that's going to give you a bit of a wall. 1550 for a break looks pretty good, but look at this floor. This is 1360, pre-market low, afternoon low yesterday, lunchtime low yesterday, whatever you want to call it. A bit of just below that, there was a bit of a halt price. You had a previous top right around that same level. Yeah, 1360. That's like a floodgate short opening up for me on W Key. I mean, if it breaks through there, I got to have that breakdown trade. Short sell restriction rules apply to both the day that it's down 10% and the following day, right? So I do believe that should place, I think it had big enough move, so it's likely going to be SSR. That would make it tricky. You can't always get the shares without an uptick when you're trying to remove from the bid, but I'm still going to be going short through a 1360. If it does get into that double top from yesterday, 16, I think that's where you really got to think about shorting it. And it gives you a breakout at 1650. Inside of the range can be a little bit tricky, but I'm definitely going to play these on the periphery.
So this another name, just this Dolphin here, this DLPN, another name. I don't look. I'm playing Top Shots, which is NFT. That's just for fun. I mean, I've put a couple bucks into that, and not really thinking it's going to do anything. But I don't think as an investment, I think this is the game. It's a game right now. Whether or not they continue to move higher or not, I don't know. I'm not going to be putting any money into any of these names, but similar to that W Key level, man, 1383 down here. That's where we stopped yesterday on Dolphin. It kept coming all the way down, stopped here 1380, and then started making moves upside. But I mean, for our day trade, I mean, this is great. We'll just have to find some technical levels upside. 19 is where we stopped yesterday. So I'm not even going to look at too many past days here. It's just, let's see what happens here. You do have this break spot down here, 15, where we bounced, consolidated. We consolidated some here at 15 as well. So I think 15 brings us, I mean, obviously if it breaks 15, then you're going to see a stop rate here, 1470 or so. And then after that, we retest down low. So I like DLPN. Like Neil mentioned, though, we got to watch out for shortables. You got to make sure you have shortable shares. And if you do, then yeah, look at this consolidation. This is between 1580 and 15. If you could break back down below this 15 and a quarter, then I think we make this move. So watch out for 15 and a quarter short on DLPN, guys.
All right, guys, no additional news on QuantumScape. We learned yesterday where they had priced the offering that we talked about back on Monday. So that is old news. I sat down this morning and this thing was gapping up in the pre-market. The overall market move to the downside has brought this back to basically break even here. But worth mentioning, we're back close to this 43 again. This 43 has been tested multiple times on the daily chart, including yesterday. Ends up holding as support yesterday. We get a $3, $3.50 move to the upside off of that 43 yesterday.
In this, you guys saw me trading this yesterday as it was falling down here. We went long right here. It breaks 40. We adjusted our stop to 39.50. We actually, it's so crazy. We got, if I could zoom, I mean, I hope I can zoom in here. I actually have this tick in my account. 39.80. I went long. This is me. I bought this tick right down here, 39.81 yesterday. That was in my account, and that's why we celebrated a $675. I think the most we wound up getting on it was $550 or so on these breaks back to the downside right here. So that was a monster trade for QS yesterday. I think it was the best one on the board yesterday. But that's because it was, just got basically just extended, like Mark was talking about, this rubber band effect. It went down 10% in about 20 minutes, and we were just watching that size at 40, and then we knew it was going to break. So, we adjusted a little lower, and then it just started ripping, and then that's the level now that you have to look at, exactly what you were talking about, Brendo. That 43 level held yesterday. Once it said, you know what? And someone yesterday, and they tweeted at me as well, and I brought it up in the chat, when we dumped our shares up here, they got out, they reversed and went short and took it back to this VWAP. And that held beautifully, whether or not it's VWAP, whether or not it's $43. So I'm kind of looking for the same thing here. This bottom is 45. So as we get closer and closer, that could be a level to buy. I don't know about buying these top takes. Remember, share offering, that's what it was, the share. I was talking about DraftKings. QuantumScape, there's the share offering there. So we get up to 47. So we're going to look at that. If it takes out 47, then that's definitely going to be a long. I wrote down 47 on the sheet here. You can see right in the middle, QS for 47. So that sticky note is up. Check the Twitter for that, and you'll see a few other names. Looking at Ford through 13. We're looking at GE through 13 as well. So watch out this 47 spot on QuantumScape. I like it. I'm still stuck long 50 and a quarter, something like that. So work to be done for longer term holders. But the battery space is a hot one right now. Obviously, they're doing new technology, solid state batteries. So let's see where QuantumScape goes. We've seen what Volkswagen's done in the last little while. Volkswagen has a stake in QuantumScape. I'm long it because eventually I think it's a buyout target.
I think you have to watch out for 45 to potentially break on the open and be prepared for that 43, because I wrote down 43.18 specifically, 43 to 43.18 specifically as a bit of a dip buy opportunity in a QuantumScape. 47 makes a lot of sense, and one of the reasons why I always look at these levels, if you have the confirmation of ever having a wick bottom turn into a resistance, usually makes it a little bit better for a breakout. I think you got to scalp some of it into like a 48, 49, and the dip is what worked yesterday, and sometimes you don't want to get too far away from that. QS, there's no getting away from it. There's a very, very good chance that every time you take a trade here, you have to give it a little more room. It's not your average $47 stock. So when that 43, you get like a 43.50 or 44 even break or long on a dip, you really do have to consider giving it like that extra 50 pennies or $1 if it's in the open market. I don't like doing it in the pre-market, but in the open market, certainly that makes a lot of sense to me. And it's the same thing with the 47 break long. If you take a 47 breakout, are you really wrong if it continues to hold 45? Because there's certainly upside through 50. There's no question about that.
Okay, BOEX. Let's talk about WeWork announcing this morning a big deal to go public through a SPAC merger with this BOEX Acquisition Corporation. As far as reactions go to the announcement of a SPAC deal, this is probably the weakest I've seen. Typically, we see 20 to 30, even 40% moves. This is 4.8%, although lots of volume here, guys, behind this move to start things off. What do we think of BOEX?
It's a little weaker than that, and the reason it's not a slam dunk, Shaq Fu there. The talk of this actually started at the beginning of the year for BOEX and WeWork, and there was some confirmation, of course, now the deal is going to be going down. So in reality, these things usually open up around $10. This was actually just shy, I think like 980 something or whatever it was on that first day. And it actually made a run up until like $11.50 to $12, and it's essentially right back on those lows. So there is, the good thing about that is it gives you cover off the low at 965, now that everyone's getting what they expected to any long trade. But I'm gonna be looking to fade any real strength here, and I kind of mean that if it actually gets back into this $11, like $11.50 range, I'm definitely going to be thinking about a bit of a short opportunity. I think the scalp breakout longs on momentum, I think, make a lot of sense too, Sean, and we do have it unblocked now, and it's ridiculously cheap to pay for shorts on this one. So that can be a bit of a harbinger for danger, because if everyone can short this thing at will as cheap as they want, a lot of times you can get some squeeze play action from day traders. But you look at this 10 even area, if I see a monster bid down there, I'd maybe consider a buy in front of it. Other than that, 965 is your real cover if you like the long. I'm selling into 11 to 1150 if you get a gigantic pop. I just don't love WeWork, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not sure how much the street likes it either, only up this 5%. And when you look at the daily chart, it's not that impressive considering it's down from when the rumors started.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I don't know much about the valuation of WeWork. $9 billion seems like it's a lot. We know SoftBank, they bought in, I think, a certain percent at like $7 billion or something. So worth of. So well, I mean, I don't know about the valuation of WeWork, but we will check out the price action. I just wanted to. So I wrote down 1020. That looks like that's still coming in. Hold on, let's just check it quickly there. As I was watching GameStop as Neil was talking about it. Yeah. So 1020 still holding there. I like that long. I think you can take this long. I don't want to short it at all today, so we'll have to play a break. I'm going to play a break of 1040 and then see if that works, and if it doesn't, then we'll just simply get out back here. I can definitely hold something 20 cents against me. That's not a problem considering how trading is going. And right here, okay, so holding something 20 cents against me to holding something now $3 or $4 in the money. I just want to bring this up to everyone's attention right now. GameStop just bouncing back and forth and around right now. Bottom of 204.60, this is called 204, and then a top side of 208. So it's in this $4 range right now. I just hope that this doesn't take me out downside here before the market actually opens. So now it's looking, VWAP has moved up a little bit, so that's 200. My stop was initially at 197. I'm wondering if we can give it a little bit more room here for GameStop, but this could be an exciting one right off the open. I just don't, the reason why I'm giving it all the way down here is we could get an open print that takes it through 200 and then we see what happens. So you know what? I think I just convinced myself, even though realistically, I think you should move the stop here if you're trading with big shares. The only problem is the open, right? So if the open does come through, you could just get a spike down to VWAP here and then a move back up. So I'm acknowledging right now that this should probably come out at 201. So when I punch myself in the face for getting it out here at like 197, I'm going to cost myself a little bit of money doing that, but I think it's well worth the risk, that the chance that there is an upside move. Quickly, Brendan, we haven't showed the imbalance locator yet, other than super early. So we'll look at that. What is ZH, by the way? We'll look at that, not RH. Maybe people are confused here. This is an ADR China. Oh, is this a new... This may be, I don't know, my chart's not loading here. We'll find out more about ZH coming up soon. AT&T, BAC is the one that I like as well. We haven't talked much about Carnival. Neo's on sell right now. We don't have 10-cent music story there. We talked about that. This is just, what a move this has been, man. Brendan said the other day, this just hit all-time highs, and it did, guys. $32, like bang, 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 all the way down here to $18 today. What up? 10-cent music. Apparently Goldman, I guess, with a block share of 50 million to sell. I won't be buying those shares, but right now to the downside goes TME. So this stock is going to be an exciting one today. Needless to say, levels, man, like 1880. But if that Goldman story is true, let's see what happens here at 1780 as those may come in. As we get closer and closer to the market open, we'll see. And there goes, here we go. Now we're getting excited with GameStop. Let's see if we can have a little Mamma Mia here. What up to my paisans? Let's see if we can go long through 208 on GameStop. We still got this 202 in our blotter right now.
Yeah, I was just watching that 10-cent music, guys. That's a huge chunk. If they find a buyer for that, a heads up. Yeah, Goldman apparently shopping a 50 million share block of TME. Okay, let's go to Ford Motor Company. Ford, obviously, also coming out this morning saying they're going to shut down, I think it was in Michigan. Yeah, Michigan plant production of the F-150 just for the weekend because of the chip shortage. Guys, does this matter at all?
Look, one of the things we said is look at the difference in reaction for what the chip shortage is doing and shutting the plants and production between NIO or NEO and something like a Ford, or maybe even we talked about GM as well. I'm not changing too much with Ford. Like the last time it was up here, we were looking at this level. So, I mean, I don't see too much reason not to like a 1250 breakout on Ford. So we did the same thing with a General Electric when it did this. The only difference I would say is the reluctance if you get a failed double top through 1250. Last time I wasn't willing to go into the short trade. I think I would at least be willing to do that today on a Friday, but definitely got to look at 1250. It just stands out. We tried it once. We'll try it again here. GE is going to be a very, very similar one. gone, just not exactly at the same price. I think it's 13 even on General Electric if it hasn't already gone. And thank you guys so much for the likes. But Ford, definitely going to like that one through a 1250. This time, though, if it rejects twice, I got to be able to reverse direction. It's too slow to do it last time.
Okay, so here's the sticky note. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. You guys can check that out if you wanted it. But I written down the same levels here, man. There it is. Where it is. At 1250 or 1190 there. We'll see if it can hold the downside. So we have some bids on Ford just to see if we can hold this 1190 area, which is just right here. I mean, it's this consolidation. I mean, realistically, this is 1180. I'm just talking about 1190 as a key area right here where we started to go yesterday. So let's see if it can hold 1190. I mean, holding 12, I'll be buying before 12. So just watch out for that 1180. Maybe it should have been 1180, but 1190 seemed right to me. So we'll wait to see if that holds. And then I do have some bids here as well. 1220, 1225, 1226. Look at this, 1215. Yesterday's afternoon was a little rocky in the market, and it held this 1215. So we do have a bid now, downside 1225, and then also to break that to the upside. So look, the F-150 is a monster. Production issues, we already know about the chip shortage that's there. So I almost feel that news is baked into this stock price. If this wasn't here, I mean, Ford, if there wasn't a chip shortage, which started, was some of the news just about a week ago, a little bit, maybe a little bit more than that. So it's already rallied to this top of 1350. And I just think we can easily get back there. It's a play on electric vehicles. It's a play on the rebuild. It's a play on the opening of the economy, more people driving, less people trusting Ubers and things like that. I love Ford construction. Everybody loves the F-150. So we love the stock, and I'm still long Ford, and I recommend it at all of these levels. I'd rather buy more if it came down to 11, but for right now, let's take a 1250 break for a day trade.
All right, guys, we walk you through what is happening every single morning before the market opens. Join us at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome, first of all. Again, every single day the market is open, we do this. We're getting very, very close to 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Take a second, make sure you subscribe. Join us every single day the market is open. Guys, want to talk about the big banks here. We mentioned them briefly already, but the Fed coming out yesterday saying they're going to lift restrictions on buybacks and dividends starting in June after stress tests. The entire group upside today.
Yeah, and one that got mentioned, and we've talked a little bit about Wells Fargo being the lagger. I know Mark mentioned, I threw in the chat, look at 40 on Wells Fargo, pre-market high. It's essentially right here, and here's a level 2, guys. This is a New York book order, like 250,000 shares on the offer of Wells Fargo, but that's eligible for the opening print. So, I mean, it could go any second. Now, I'm looking to take this one on the break. It's already made a bit of a bounce. It's trying to run into some fresh highs here. If it can get to that like 41.5 mark, I'm going to like it. But let's look at the 15 minutes just so you can get an idea. This is sort of your potential. Like you get a 40 break, you have this chop back into last week where you get to like a 40.50 and 40.75 area, and then from there you got another like $1.50 to that 41.50 top. So there's lots of room to run on a breakout trade like this. It's not a super tight range in the pre-market, but certainly enough that we can dig into this one. Because it's New York, there is that chance that you get the break before it officially opens. Now, if that's the case, sometimes I'll trim a little bit off and then wait for an actual open to add back into the position, just preferring to see volume come in, right? So that's always a potential with the NASDAQ. You don't really have that concern. Lots of other good names. I mean, I love a Morgan Stanley. Just when I looked at all of them, Wells Fargo just looked like the best in terms of a trade here, right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Bank of America breaking through 38.50 and then looking to hold 38. So let's wait to see what Bank of America does. It's already up 1.7. It may be too much already. So we're just going to wait for a 38.50 break on BAC and just check back. I almost put an order to get out here at 207 because GameStop has just bounced too many times like off this 207, and then it's holding though this 204. So I don't know what's going to happen here at open, but we'll play it. We'll see if we can get a little bit of a home run here to start. This is more of a fun trade right now because it was pre-market. We didn't take the normal share size here on GameStop at all. So we'll wait to see if it takes off here. We'll see if we can get 1 times daily on this trade or something like that, and then go upside. No real upside targets. I just expect to trade this thing for fun today. I know that's not great, logic, but we'll wait to see what happens. It's worth it. We had a big move yesterday. We're trying to get out. If it breaks back down through 197, we'll get out. Just looking to see if we can test. I mean, if I can get lucky enough to take some of these wicks, 220, something like that would be absolutely fantastic. 218, 220, and then we'll just see if after that, if it halts a couple times, what the upside brings for GameStop. But BAC, another name, because I know Brendan's coming at the big board quickly here, was Microsoft. I didn't get to that. We'll see. It's going to hold 230 here. It's down today, so watch out. NASDAQ turning positive, or close to turning positive, and Microsoft still down, so watch out for that 230 level. Brendo at the big screen.
Yeah, real quick, guys. Under 90 seconds. We're about under a minute now. Okay. WAFU, these online Chinese education companies, all higher in the pre-market this morning. There's no real significant reason for it, but this one's already come off a long way. It's still up 81% at this point. Real quick, 925, 950, and then 975 was that last little high in the pre-market, so it has to stay below 950 to 975 if we're going to continue downside here. This thing was trading under $5 yesterday, guys.
Yeah, another name is going to be a Next Decade Corp. With just a minute to go, they did have a partnership deal. They had earnings, but a partnership deal with Occidental when it comes to CO2. When it comes to CO2 transportation and storage. I have a couple shorts here. One was at 55, 56, and another one when we broke at 42. I'm still hanging on to that one. I did get the Wells Fargo trigger, and I said if it happens before the open, I might look to trim some if it comes back into flat, but it's got a relatively tight range, so I'm pretty comfortable with it here. And I'll get to that ATNF, which was a bit of a roller coaster ride. That one moving as well, but I think the focus, right here is going to be on some of the breaks that are going to happen right away, and already had that Wells Fargo, and of course going to be looking at your GME. Whoa. Yeah, going to be watching GME. And watch out for NEO. NEO actually making a bit of a bounce here. It's down 6%, but making a bit of a run. It's Friday. It's time to drop that countdown. Miss V is on the bell, I do believe. So let's get this party started. She's wearing the green. The NASDAQ basically flat, so hopefully good luck here.
All right, let's go. There goes GameStop all the way down, and I just put it in the chat there that we should have followed our own freaking discipline there and got out when we saw that at 207, 208, that top there. But there it comes falling down, and now we're out. So that's okay, man. A $4 hit on that name. Hey, it was $4 in the money, so let's just move on and see what happens there. I know Neil's in WFC already, and BAC, though, does not print me yet. So we'll wait. Oops. We'll wait. I need the cursor. We'll wait to see what happens. 38.26. Looking to get into some names, man. QS, Neo, Ford, all the good ones. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and already into selling into strength on that Vuzi. It's testing this chop area here at that 23.40 area. So got into that, but just had to come over as well to, well, I'm not going to go to next. I should go back to WFC. I told you guys what the plan of action was going to be. Trim some off on that failed break because it was before the market opened up. I just get back into it off support here, but it still hasn't opened. So I did get back into the shares for an average price of like 98, but we're still waiting for it to officially open on the New York book. So nothing to see just yet on WFC. Sometimes you get delayed opens on the New York.
Okay, so we went long Neo through 36. So let's just wait to see. We do have 35 listed down there. It's a decent sized position. I want to hold this till about 35.50 or so right here. That's that breaking spot. So let's just see if Neo wants to go, man. We're into GE. We're into BAC right now and GE. So BAC, a nice buy here. Or sorry, GE buy at 301. That's hopefully going to hold. We'll wait to see Neo looking like it wants to do a dance. And then there goes BAC through 38.50, but we also bought some 38.35. So right now, things cruising, but not doing great is Neo I guess I should have stayed away from thinking that this name was about to run because it ain't. Back-to-back jacks there, Neo and GameStop to the negative side here. As we took that break, it did work a little bit, but we have to give that one up as it breaks back down through our level. And here it goes. Maybe 35.50 was a breaking spot there.
Sean, instantly, Brendan just gave you guys this WAFU, WAFU, we're going to call it, volatility halt immediately right into this resistance level at $10. Now, watch out. If it opens up and makes a test at 12 even, this is the flush that happened at 7 a.m. Gets into that price, going to play the fade trade. Next is starting to work for us here. We tried to get you that one as fast as we could. I was sitting in it the entire time, and you guys saw that. I did think about getting more shares at this 250 range. I did not do it. That's obviously going to be the wrong thing, so don't want to play it too close. to the chest with next here, but I'm going to get some out at 225. 195 was yesterday's close. I do have still just under half the position left, and I will get it all out before it gets to that $2 range. If any of these go back to their actual previous close, I'm always taking profit, but I want to have some orders out there just to be able to take advantage. VUSI's back to flat. WFC is still not open, and I'm sitting at, I got long 98s, and it's out of the money, but 8 or 9 cents. Need that thing to open up here, guys.
Yeah, okay, so we did buy back into NEO, and then it started to run again, and then we didn't do anything about it because I just think there's a huge run opportunity here. We're going to play it back to 35. Look, if we miss on NEO again, we miss on NEO. Nothing we could do about that one. NEO talked about VUSI there, so I won't talk about it because he's in it. Ford, check out Ford quickly. Yeah, bouncing off that 1250 level. Let's see if we can't get longer on the downside. GE working, though. What's up, Brent?
All right, early strength in some of these Chinese names that got hit in the pre-market really hard. Baidu, first off, still down 2.5%, but straight upside since the open. $10 already, guys, for Baidu.
Yeah. And let's just hope that NEO can follow suit here. We are long back long at 35.85 right now. High of the day 12s. So we'll put an order there and see if we can get out of some NEO as that's trying to work for us, man. We just did cash in a little bit here on our GE. Now through 13, we take that long. We take it pretty big. Now we'll wait to see what happens on the upside. We just took some out at 10s. So GE working for us right now as well.
Yeah, and just going to go back to this 47 level on Quamscape. Now, you look at what happens off the open. This is one of the reasons why you allow sometimes the opening range to go. I think you might get triggered in because it actually took it by a couple of pennies, slammed back to the downside. If we can hold a 46 low here on Quamscape, I'm going to love it. I love us holding this bottom here in the opening range and then retaking 47. Second time can be a charm. WFC, I do believe, finally just opened up. And again, this is not... You know, you guys don't like, for me, if I get into this position before the market opens up, I don't mind taking some off and then reloading. And now we're looking to see if we can take 40 even again. VUSI's basically flat. Got to go at least 40 or 50 cents in the money before I get excited. And when it comes to Wells Fargo, just to give you the higher time frame look, I'm looking for a break into this chop zone. So I'll take some off as we get into that 40-50 and then hopefully hold at least a little bit if we can get to 41 on the day. Market trying to get, the market just got positive. So thank you, Miss V.
Yeah, exactly. I told her to wear green today, by the way.
Yes,
guys. So
I remember.
I'm really glad that she's listened to, where is Miss V? Oh, maybe getting our coffee. Ooh, that might be good. Okay, right here, just looking at BAC, it's testing that 50 level again. This may, I mean, it should have gone by now, so not too sure what exactly is happening. Oh, right there on cue. I see the coffee's coming now. Okay, NEO out there, 05s, out there, 95s. Now we wait for the high of the day. We do have another order just parked right there, man, at 12. So hopefully we can get some out at 36.12, which is the high of the day here. It says 38.14, but I'm hoping we can get up there. Thank you, Miss V, and thank you for wearing green today as well, by the way. Okay, nice move. There we go. We got those 12. So there it is. Yes, man. Lying in the weeds a little bit, even though this is like a site. Wait a minute. Oops, that's my marijuana one. Yeah, we don't have to worry about that for right now. But right here, nice move up in NEO. Thank God we got that. We did dump some off there, bought some back. It's not going to be a winning trade unless it starts to go. Here it goes. Okay, maybe I take that back. What's up, Brendo?
More strength, guys, in Chinese names. This one, IQ on the NASDAQ, now 4% to the upside. Just watching this pre-market high. It was struggling there for a second, but straight upside from 1960 for this one as well, guys. IQ.
Yeah, and there goes the second time on Quamscape. It just broke 47s. I got 06s to the long side here on this little break. If you give it to VWAP, I'm not sure you're giving it enough room, guys, so we'll give it all the way back into this 46. If we can hold the bottom, I wouldn't mind adding to it, but only on the upside. It has to bounce off that level first, and then I would take it to the upside. VUSI, on the other hand, is going to go the other way on me. I'll get to Wells Fargo. That did get to that quarter, so I was able to take some off. VUSI now testing this level in here, guys. Like, you look at that 23, 35 area. I cannot let this one go. I do have it at 22.50. I'm not losing more than $1 on this trade. I think the upside was certainly there if it could break that 21.50. But VUSI showing strength. They're looking like they want to receive this offering pretty well. There's my out. Looking like they want to receive this offering pretty well. So that's going to be the first hit of the day, and it's going to be VUSI. Have to come back over. I said Wells Fargo was starting to go, so we'll go back and review that one. It did give that pop. Got some out in front of the 25. I will be buying on the dip in front of the 40 if I can again. Whatever I got out, I want to be able to get back in. Both in front of this level that I got 85, but probably also as well in front of 40. The market is looking rather strong. The only short working right now is, of course, that next. Those small caps don't tend to care what the market is doing.
No, and what else is working? Look at that print right there out. 36.32 there on NEO as that just ripped to the, okay, now it's tanking.
Open.
That just ripped to the high side there. We got out. So that was a good trade for us right there. We're into QuantumScape as well. We'll see about what happens at that 46 level. GE comes all the way back in. So I don't know. Maybe is this a buying opportunity? We did dump some out there, but now it's turned against us now, GE. So some of these names just continue to sort of fall back in here, including BAC. We're going to get some out now if this breaks through 38.19. A little bit of success here, but there it is. We'll dump BAC, not hold on to these ones forever. Let's just wait to see what's happening here in this marketplace. GME, it's still super early, guys. I'm not going to make any major moves yet. NEO was a decent position. We'll wait on that one, and BAC was okay. GE, I think we got to buy this dip as well. GameStop 188 and moving. AMC, quickly before we throw to Brendan, 11 right here, bouncing off that 11. Got up to 11.50. Brendo, give it to us.
ATNF, Neil was mentioning this one, halt downside here, so big flush there, 10.50 down through 9.50, halted this one. WAFU, that WAFU, also reopened, instantly halted downside, guys.
Wow, I missed that reopen. That's going to be pie in my face. So I was watching WAFU trying to catch that one on if it had some weakness. Not quite enough. Here's the dip, first 40, and then in front of 39.85, just like I said, we try to do here on Wells Fargo, that is. It did have this 39.80 wick. I'll give it to that on a first look, but just trying to play the long side. I'm looking at the NASDAQ, which is holding up a little bit better than the ES here, so have to keep that in mind that it might be led at least a little bit by the tech space, and I have picked, of course, the banks, which have moved in the opposite direction with some of those names. QuantumScape is going, but it's not. I don't know what to say. Like, it's in the money 30 cents, but this is QuantumScape. My first ad will be in front of 48. Got to make sure it's an actual runner here. And Wells Fargo, if it breaks 40, my ad is on the dips at this point. I'm not going to be buying on the way back up. I already did a breakout. Now I'm buying dips on Wells Fargo. And again, I'll take profit in front of the quarters and then the 50s.
What's up, B?
So much for negativity here, guys. On 10-cent music, just went positive on the day after that huge flush down to 18. Straight upside for TME, guys.
Man, I really, really would have wished we would have bought that one. We did get some QS there at 46.80, so let's see what happens now with QS. We bought this GE dip, guys, so I think we should take some out now. 34, 93, 94. We're long at 89s now on GE. We didn't dump any. We actually just added, so you can see my average price now 89. That's how much I added to it, guys. We added a hell of a lot of shares there at 89, so let's just wait to see if we can get it out. I was waiting at 94 for a decent spot, and it didn't fill me there, so I don't know, man. It should have gone a little more upside than where we are right now. I feel like, look at the NASDAQ bouncing. I know this is not a NASDAQ name, but the ES also making moves back up. So I'm going to focus on this trade right now as GE is my largest position of the day here, and we just bought that dip. Do I get these 94s or what now? Oh, crap, that's why I'm at 95. Adjust. There it is. So we'll go to 94. There we go. Takes them out at 94 there. Nice win. It looks like I'll get the 95 anyways, but GE making moves to the upside. QuantumScape and NEO both working. 3 longs right here, guys. What's up, B, again?
NFT stocks starting to go here as well. Well, this is right out of the gate for WiseKey. W Key from the word go this morning, 15 to 17, showing strength again, guys.
Let's go, W Key.
It's hilarious. You just actually said that. WiseKey off of that 17. It breaks 17 and then immediately starts to come back down. So I did try to pick this one up, and I like when we make that bit of a top, and I'll give it to like the 17.25 here, guys. And if it can hold below that, I mean, I've seen offer break, I've seen no bids. Once I see a bid above 25, I'm going to cover this one. There it is. Again, I like that little setup. I was looking for like the 17 initial short. I wanted that pop of $1. The risk to reward to me is risk about 25 pennies to try and make 3x that. 2x at worst if you get an average out of like a 16.50. But I knew WiseKey was the one I wanted to try initially, and it's weird. It's almost like Brendan reads minds around here. The second he said it, I was already looking at that particular name. Got to go back over to Wells Fargo because this is not a short. This is actually me covering some shares here at 14.08. Got some other orders in front of that 14.25. So 40.25, but Wells range bound. So I want to be buying in front of these little dips here. 85 is probably the price I'm going to be trying to get long each time, or at least 86, 87, something along that range. And QuantumScape is still, it's holding 47, but it's not really going. This momentum that you're seeing in the market, QuantumScape not there just yet. Next, no trouble with that short. Looks like that one's showing all kinds of weakness, despite the partner up that they had with Oxy. And WAFU is still on a volatility halt. Should open any second, though.
Okay, I'm going to test this theory. Okay, Brennan, what stock am I thinking about right now? I'm going to test this out. Go ahead, Brennan. What stock do you think?
Microsoft.
Correct. Microsoft. Yeah, so that's exactly, that theory is right there. Yeah, I am thinking about Microsoft right now. And we were looking at the 230 hold, and it didn't really even go down there. So I've yet to get into Microsoft. We noted that it was a little bit weak as opposed to the NASDAQ, but now it's taken that over. So now it's double the Microsoft, the move, up 0.2 in the market, up 0.5 here for Mr. Softy. So let's have a quick look here. It did taken out that 233.50 level. That could have been a spot. I'm nervous about the NASDAQ today, so I want Microsoft to fall back in. So no trade yet on that name. GE making moves back to the high side. We've been dumping that. It looks ridiculous, but I did put my largest position on. So these are all small outs, but that's how I trade. And now Ford, new position alert, guys. We'll see if we can't pop a wheelie now with Ford back in now on this 225 dump. So we'll see if it can go back to the upside now with Ford. We'll probably start piecing some of this off now. As NEO, we've been pretty frugal with this. There it goes back up to the upside there. We get some out at 90s. We're just working this 35 area, thinking about 35 downside. So we're long 35.50 now as that's starting to go. And here goes Ford. Let's go.
Yeah, I just got that reload on Wells Fargo in front of that 80 area, 85. We got some in there at 87 or so. Watching as WAFU opens back up. This is real. We actually got to like almost that $11 range where that's what I talked about. I wanted to sell in front of that weakness. If we can break out here, there is a decent chance we're halting into this push. I don't short into halts. I think that's usually suicide. But if it does an orderly move back into this high and I can catch a rollover, something like 11 to 11.15, I'm going to look at WAFU through there. The top end of that range is all the way to like a 12.40. So if it does make a bit of a halt shy of that price, I'm going to really like that one on the reopen play. WAFU very, very strong here. I'm also looking at GameStop, guys. It's trying to get back to 200. So there was a bit of a flush, but it caught a bottom at 185. Where are you, GameStop? There you go. Caught a bit of a bottom at 185. If it tries to make it to 200 and has any kind of like a quick little rollover shy of that, I'm going to short off of the 200 level, guys. Wells Fargo doing absolutely nothing here, guys. So GameStop, the very likely next trade for me. If we catch any kind of a slowdown at 200, I want to play that to the short side.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for all of this, man. Russell, you're going to get this in 2 seconds. Thank you so much for that. Mortal Kombat Master, you're enjoying the play-by-play. Hey, I've been told I should exit this profession and go to another. Russell Jackson, what's up, Miss V? Again, she is the real deal, and thank you so much, Miss V. If you're going to get a bang opportunity, it's going to be coming up very, very soon, Russell. So let's throw it to Brennan, and we'll come right back, guys.
Just saw this one as well, guys, showing some strength. Datadog, we haven't talked about this in a while. This thing's come off a long way. 120 up here. We just bounced off 78 again. Very strong for D-Dog, guys.
All right, Russell, here we go. You want to bang. Bang with Ford. Bang with GE as well. Some big wins here. Look at this GE win. I mean, this was monstrous, man. We loaded it up. This is my largest position of the day. Back down here, 1288. Hell yeah. Look where we take the first break. Out. And we held some of it. Back to the downside. Then we load up. Look at my average price, man. 1288 right here. Booming to the upside, big time trade. The only thing that I want to send to the gates of hell, though, Russell, today, send some more love for that bacon. We're going to put NEO into the gates of hell as we tried it, and GameStop, I've lost on GameStop, but that was fun money. I told you about that earlier. But NEO, we actually lost real money trading NEO as it just breaks that 35. I'm going to be done this name. We have to talk about it as buying dips, not trying to get too aggressive with it. If the NASDAQ goes, then that's what we'll trade. But right now, man, a big win for me on GE. We just cashed them out at VWAP at 99, man. That's that bacon for you there, Russ. Hopefully you're cooking up some profits with us today as well.
I'll go gates of hell right here. We talked about it. The next trade was going to be that roll at like 200 on GameStop. It gave the fail break. I did miss my chance. Like when you get a fail break, so it goes up, can't take out that next level. Remember 200, 202, we talked about that. I think even Sean mentioned the 202 level there. I tried to get more on the way back in through 2, but couldn't do it. On the way down to VWAP, I'm going to scalp this one all the way to this level. It's VWAP. It's also a 193.50 bottom. That's why I try to play GameStop. I mean, holding on forever is not necessarily the play for me when I'm day trading it. If I can quickly get in and out and scalp it, give you in the money like $2 or $3, I'll take that all day long. If I think I'm going to risk a couple, I want to see if I can make an average of at least 2 to 4 on the way downside here. So GameStop, we're going to end up 1 for 1. But I don't think we're done with this name just yet. It still has a chance to hold VWAP here, and if it does, you get a potential breakout through that high of day, 207.80, but I think 208 is the level you got to concern yourself with. Cloumscape, I don't know what to make of this one, Sean, because it's in the money, but it just can't seem to continue. No follow through yet on Qualmscape, but I guess I haven't lost on it, so I shouldn't be mad.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a chill out type of thing for QS right now. I'm still in this one as well. 47.10 my average price, and I'm in this a lot. So 1, 2, 3 times you ever see me doing that, then you know that we're in here to play and to play hard. So let's wait to see here. 47. I mean, maybe I should take some out here. It's bouncing around 50. A 50 break is really nice though. So we'll just wait to see if that one can come through. Really looking at NEO again, and it hasn't been the great trading that I think we all sort of thought it would be. But now it's back up to 35.50. I guess I should have just really, I mean, it says NEO 35 here. Like, why the hell was I taking 36 breaks and 35.50 breaks? If I was just patient and held this 35, then this day would be full of bacon there, Russ. But right now, it is not. Let's check out VUZI right here. Again, it's a NASDAQ stock, so USRC.NQ. I wanted this 21 break. I just thought on the share offering that it would have been disastrous if we break that 21. That doesn't come into fruition, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's just worry about the positions we have. QS, Ford, and GE. Nothing too exciting other than QS, but I'm loving GE today. What's up, Beep?
A little one that can get going when it wants to. FT, which is Future FinTech, up 20% here. Just took out day highs there at 620. Decent volume behind FT, guys.
I just want to note here that WAFU, it's going to open up in about 1 minute or so. It has a decent chance. If it opens to the upside here, we're going to get a test of that 12 to 1250 area. Definitely going to be like those. Russell Jackson, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, that's right. Daryl Flinch is one of our longtime viewers, is going to be coming in a little bit later today. I think it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun. It always is, to get his perspective. The next trade again could be GME because it's a bit of a mixed ride here. I don't know. I'm going to hit this one. It's a stamp of approval to maybe a little bit more active in GameStop. I might have said GameStop than we usually would be. Had that one going into VWAP. The last we're going to have to take out when it makes that fresh high. Now we're looking at that potential 208 top break, guys, so I'll go in either direction here. I really don't mind it, although I won't necessarily pay up forever. Like, if I take a breakout trade at 208, I'm not willing to buy all the way to like 209. Like, I want to make sure I'm either getting, like, there we go. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Every now and then what's going to happen is you get in, and I meant to offer at like 209 to take that first little scalp trade out, and then you end up punching out. So like removing liquidity because you priced it a little bit wrong. So the GameStop trade is breaking out for me here, but if it can't go through 210 immediately, I always want to make sure I've scalped some for that little free money. And at this point, I'm not saying it's going to like 230, but if it gets to 230, I'm probably more interested in the short up at that price.
Yeah, I mean, this was that level that I had earlier on GameStop, and then we dumped it on
ugly.
that 200 break. You can see here, in, and then now it's just broke that level. So that 208 was a great trade long there. So up to 210, and now GameStop moving around. We could check out on AMC. Thank you for the love, guys. I see some people talking about I should be on TSN and things like that, but here it is, D-Train Choo Choo. Thank you so much. With your energy, I see you. Look, I love sports. If you know anybody at TSN, tell them that I'm not available because I'm here for Trader TV Live right now. I'm here for you guys and not going anywhere because you think this is passion. I mean, I've been here doing this for 19 years, guys, and we are definitely not going anywhere. QS, a nice out there at 50, like we said. My average price 99, so we'll take that 50 cents. And that was only a third. So 1, 2, 3, in. Russell Jackson, thank you again, man. You're welcome on the show too. We have Daryl coming, part of our again, we keep talking about what great family we have, but Russell, you are definitely a big part of that. Thank you for the shout out with merchandise as well. And there it is, man. Sticky Note King. Hey, why? Thank you there, Russell. What's up, Brendo?
These Chinese names, guys. I mean, pick one. It's going to be strong right now. Here's another one. VIP Shops, VIPS, up, 7.5. It was 7.5. Just broke 34.5 there. Apparently, Goldman Sachs also offering a big block on this one, along with 10-cent music. Apparently, there's lots of demand today, guys.
It's going to be the arrows up on GameStop, and you're going to get like that first it's going to be 208 break. Got out in front of 215. Now it's like the 215 break. Just going to scalp some out in front of 220. And I've said it several times. There's no way I won't still be long if it gets to maybe, but I'm probably going to be looking for short around that 230 area if it goes. But until then, I mean, these breakout trades are working. This is an example of what I was trying to do the first time, and of course, you saw it live. I bungled it. There's no way around this, guys. On that 208 break, I just took off too much too early. But these big snapbacks are why I always want to scalp that trade. If it's an even dollar break as a day trader, you don't want to get burned on a reversal where you haven't taken any profit. And I'm not saying it's free money, but it's quick money for a day trader to play a trend this way. And I did add that short, which worked out. Oddly enough, that was maybe even the better trade overall. You do get these snapbacks. I wasn't looking for it here at 219. I actually thought it would have been something a little bit closer to that 225 range, guys. And I'll give you all out. This is me when it breaks back below 215, and I think I got that last out of like 214. So you take like a small hit on the way back in. I'm always going to be grabbing profit in and out very, very quickly on GameStop is the name of the game, and I'll play that long probably all the way till about 230. 220 break it does loom here if that 19 it doesn't suit your fancy. I like the even dollars just a little bit better.
Suit your fancy. I like that. Okay, yeah, good trading there. GE just not doing anything, man. So we're just trying to take it out. We're waiting for a 13 break to get stronger on that one. Just to check back in our Ford. Yeah, we're long at 26. And our best out's 32, and then we have a 34 out as well. I don't know what happened. I guess must have been some data on this candle there. Not filling out. I'll probably have to refresh the chart to get that to go. My out's going to be down here 19s, guys, on Ford. You could see yesterday this 12.20. I mean, if you want to get really aggressive, you could go to 15, but I'm going to wait. I'm just going to, I mean, the market will tell me if I'm going to be right or wrong on this one. So 12.19 is going to be the out there. Probably not that aggressive, but I'm willing to do that for sure on that play. So we'll watch out for that. Oh, AMC was the next name I want to talk about. As Neil's going crazy over there with GameStop, I don't have any trades on AMC, but it did. I just want to bring it to your attention because 1150 is a stop spot there. It's gone up. It's made its move down to 11. And this is, I mean, look what we wrote again on here. It's at the very bottom. It's AMC 11 to 1150 right there. So I was expecting it to be range bound. So let's buy some 11s here and then use this 1090 as our out. So I think this is well worth it into this area. 11, 12, 11, 15, something around here right now for AMC seems to be worth it right now for me. So let's put that risk on, Brendo.
Big mover off of earnings yesterday. RH, new all-time highs again today, guys. 570 now for the former Restoration Hardware. But big move here, 550 was a huge level. We're at 570 now, guys.
I apologize in advance for every time I call them Restoration Hardware. I think I did it already once today, and apologies to that. But either way, they're making a fantastic little pivot, I think, in their business, and they're gonna do really, really well. So add that to that L Brands call that Mark was talking about. That next, and Sean said, what's next? Just got some more out of next here. It's still only the 242 short. I never got that ad in the 45 to 50 range, of course. My bids are still down in front of 2 even, guys. So that one is the one that's working easily. The one that is a pain in my rear end is Wells Fargo. I mean, I don't know how GE's treat me, but it does feel like some of these, I mean, the banks and these cyclicals, which I kind of like today. We're holding this 85 bottom, which is fine. My price is 92. So I was able to get some shares out at 40.08, at 40.12, at 40.22, but just no follow through. If we can take out 40 again, and the market can get off its schneid, this is what we're looking to work into, that previous high up around 41, and then into those all-time highs on the session. I just feel, you know, with the news of the relief that the banks got from the Fed when it comes to buybacks and dividends, Wells Fargo has been at times a bit of a lagger, and I just like that this price area break. If it can hold the bottom, I don't see any reason we don't test at least 40.50, at least get us halfway there. That'll give us a nice like 50, 60 cent winner if we can get that out. But Wells Fargo still in the range, still holding on. I've been resisting the temptation to add because I think I've already done it enough. So let's go to Miss V at the big screen.
Hey Neil, Naked is a popular name on the chat today. Stock is up around 20%. Back to you.
Naked Brand's up 20%. Oh my goodness. You know what? This is one of the reasons why I love you guys in the chat, because you know this is a name that we've traded before. Thank you very much for my daily chart going to show up. And if you're ever talking about a penny stock approaching $1, it's always going to be a psychological level. Now, you look at the chart here, I would probably thinking about, if you got the long guys, I'd probably be thinking about taking some profit and a bit of a turn that would get nastier from the 90 to 95 range, just looking at the chop that it had. There was some really, look at all the volume that's going to be going through in a multi-day range here between 90 and 95. So that's the only thing that would give me some pause as to waiting for like $1 or even taking $1 break. I think if you're dipping back into this like 80 to 82 range, for those of you that are bullish, that's probably a buy. I don't think I've gone long. Well, I may probably have gone long a couple of times on Naked Brands, but overall, I do prefer selling into this particular name. And that's what I'd likely be doing from 90 to 95. $1 is a level that's worth testing just about every single time. Usually when it extends this far on one day, it's going to be a 40% move if it gets to that $1 mark. So I would be fading that one if it got to that price for sure. If you like it, you're probably looking at the 82 for a dip. And Qualmscape looks like it might be coming close to testing that 46. I only want to buy it if it bounces off 46. Wells Fargo, on the other hand, and maybe Ms. V is good luck for the Wells long, because that's now back at that $40 mark. I need to hold it above 40, and if that happens, I think we're all systems go.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got out at basically the low there of BAC. Should have put it a little bit lower, but again, it breaks that 20 and we get out. So we're back in now. Let's see how high this one can go. I mean, we'll make it all back. It's not a big deal, but
oh my gosh,
would like to have held that one a little bit longer there. So we didn't, but okay. Okay, so now we're trying to be disciplined. So we take very, very small on NEO here, just breaking through VWAP, and we're going to wait down here now to see if we can't get along in the 20s now with NEO. If it pulls back in, we'll see if it can do that, and then we'll watch it defend this 35 one more time to the downside. We'll see if it can defend that. So that's going to come in here. We'll see if it breaks that, then we'll get longer, and if it breaks this 35 again, we'll wait. But we're going to try to play NEO to the long side one more time here today, just in case this wants to go. TME, we've talked about that. What a big move off the bottom there. Goldman Sachs, I guess that 50 million share block print didn't really happen yet because we're only at 39 million, but that's a ton of shares. So they could be doing it in pieces, or they could have already maybe sold it, and we'll see a dark print at some point on Goldman Sachs, from Goldman Sachs on TME. But right now, that just continues to move around. BAC, a nice win now, up to 58. So taking out new highs here for BAC on the day. We do have a beautiful daily chart as it's trying to break out right now. So we'll see if this thing can test that 40 high. I don't know, man. I mean, the market could fade in on a Friday. Who wants to hold shares maybe into the weekend? We have some negative talk with China, so on and so forth. So I think it's still going to be a slippery one here. As NEO comes down, and it didn't fill me yet, but we are coming into the spot where we should get long. I'm bidding 21s, I thought. I don't know, we should have got that bid, but we did not. Again, got to switch up some of the keys that we're using as NEO come down to 21, and we didn't get that fill, guys.
Ugh, I hate
here it comes anyways.
1, 2, 3, 4, now 5 halts since the open on WAFU. This one at the actual, just through the pre-market high here at 1558. So wowzers, say a quick prayer. Well, no, I'm kidding about that. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to be shorting this name. There's absolutely no question. It's a matter of when. The first down halt, for sure, I'm going to make a play at it. Downward halt, meaning it opens back up, and then if it halts to the downside, I would get in. Hopefully, I can notice that it's about to halt and get in that way. The other thing you can do that I like to do is, if we open up shy, like it's just right at the high of the day, if we open up shy of that level, so in and around this like 1450 to 15 area, and I can get a reasonable price that allows me to have this halt high is my out, that's the other way I would get in. So there's only two ways I'm going to go into this short, either waiting for it to already down halt on it on me here, or if it opens up just shy of that 1560 and I can get a reasonable price. If you don't get a good price, going against the grain can be a little bit crazy on a name like that. When I come to VUSI, it is what it is. I mean, I take this short into VUSI. I give it to this like 23, like 30-ish area. I actually got averse into the long, of course, that price and get out in front of that little range. Still gonna be down on the stock, but not re-entering the short when it consolidates at the same price is just, I've done that before, or like not done that before, and I hate myself every time I don't go back to look at the stock. When it does that failed breakout and comes right back to the shorts that I liked, I don't get in, and it's right at the low of the day. So a bit of a pie in my face with VUSI. I got a little bit back on that long, but since I was bearish on it, I should have jumped back into the short.
Oh, hell
Brendo?
Yeah, guys, right now, let's go, because look at NEO. We finally did it, hallelujah. As the Wiz, we finally follow our rules, and F you, NEO, right now as we go to the high side. We followed it, man. We talked about staying disciplined. Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. Get out of here, sticky note. At that 35 level, bang, 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 bang. Triple, you like it so much. There's like 4 or 5 fills down here. We waited for that 21 patiently and missed the 21. As you can see where we're long now, 28s, 29s, and 30s. Beautiful out there at 90 as that thing just rips faces off. So congratulations if you followed me on that one. We'll try to be more disciplined with our NEO. But the NASDAQ crashing here, guys. Watch out below. We talked about that this is going to be a wild ride. So let's take advantage and get out of some of these moves on the high side. upside. Well taking advantage of up to 90 there. What a great out that was. That's 60 cents in like 2 minutes, guys. What up, Bren?
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets. Consumer sentiment data just out from last month. It was better than expected. 84.9 versus 83.7 on consumer sentiment. So here we go. Nicely positive, yeah, right across the board. The S&P 0.5%. Same story for the Dow. NASDAQ is trying. So tech stocks trying to get back to the upside, but still lagging a little bit here, about 0.3% for both. The Russell having a nice day. 1% to the upside for small caps right now. Here in Toronto, the TSX dead flat, 0.06% in positive territory. A couple of things from the watch list to keep in mind this morning. This is BOEX. Remember, this is going to become WeWork. Yeah, just right now at day highs here. Decent volume still behind this. So that BOEX Acquisition Corporation starting to go a little bit. VUSI as well. The other one did test that low. We're trying to hold it right now, but huge volume on VUSIX Corporation, guys.
And I see that people mentioning CLEU on a bit of a halt trade. The halt I'm watching right now is actually WAFU, and that's opening up in like a minute or so. And because I wanted to trade this one, it's basically impossible. I can't really do like real diligence on CLEU here, guys. When I do have to trade this WAFU, it's going to open up in a minute. I just got stopped out of. We're going to go with I don't know. Which one should I hit here? I'll flush it down the toilet. That's Wells Fargo for you guys. It broke the bottom, so I'm going to get out of this bank play. I still like Wells, so I might dig into it a little bit later on in the session, but it just couldn't seem to get going. I got a bit of profit out when it take a move to like 40.25, but it just couldn't go. WAFU is going to be the next one for me. I can't get off of this chart. If it does open lower than this 15.60 and gives me a price around this 15 even, something that's reasonable, I want to go short off the high of the day. Otherwise, if it just gaps all the way down and holds to the downside, that's another way I'd play. If it opens higher, hands off. I wouldn't short into that kind of a mess. That's how you get crushed.
And the money's coming right now, guys, as we try to have some diamond hands here on Neil. But a couple more outs, 80s here. We didn't take too much out recently, but there it is, another tick up to 89 and out, up to 76 and out. Finally, man, I mean, taking this long turns out to definitely be the right call on that one. And then Ford, yeah, we've loving some Ford right now. Long at 26. We talked about getting out, where we'd get out on that one if it broke back down through 19. So well earned on this one, as it's just, it's pricing out properly some of the risk and reward here on these names. Okay, Bowflex, BOEX. Thank you, Brendan, for that note. We already had that order in to go long if it does break the day's high. So right now we're long at 42, 46, 47, 48. We'll take some out right now. There it is. Through 50. Let's go through 50. Now, out a little bit there on BOEX. Let's see if it takes this 50 out, which it should go through 50. We'll see. Resisting 50 right now. There it is. 51. No, 50 holds. So let's see. Again, it's 10-cent winner while it's 8 cents in the money. There it goes. Go. Wow. 50 holding right here. This may be a spot, guys. Let's see if it gets going. I am offering upside. I thought I was anyways. Oh, there I am. I'm offering at 54 right now. Go. Print me at 54. We're sitting there at 54. Trying to take 12 cents on this one. That's going to be a dime piece. There it is. You like dime pieces, so do I. Up through 54 right now and going. Shout out to all you guys with those dime pieces. Big trade here, Neil. Let's go on BOEX. Come on, WeWork.
Let's go WeWork. I want it up at 11 so I can actually short that puppy. No questions about it. WAFU. And this is why you have to have a plan of action, guys. I'll get to you. Great question here, Russell Jackson. Thanks for the super chat. This has 5 minutes before it opens back up. It's basically the same plan as I had before, and I'm going to rinse and repeat that same action until I get the entry I like. There's no way I'm taking the short. I do actually make a list every single morning. It's the first thing I do when I sit down. I have an iPad here. I mean, I used to use a sticky note, and then we got these fancy iPads. But anyways, I've written all the names that I'm interested in. I'll put the levels down that I do like. I'll have little crib notes for like weak support, strong support, things along that nature. For me, things are about a trade, not necessarily just not just a price sometimes. So I do have a bit of a short form that I have just to remind myself what I wanted to do at that price level. When it comes to these parabolic movers, like a WAFU, it's more of a way that I like to enter the trade. It has nothing to do with price levels on a WAFU. It has everything to do with the price action around those halts. And so you're playing it by ear when you trade something like this. It can't know in advance where the turn is going to be. That's just simply impossible.
Okay, guys, crashing in goes BOEX right now. WeWork up to 1065, and yeah, put it out there, gets them out right now again. Still in the money, 12 cents, but look, it's coming back in. So we did take some 54s, and I did layer some more orders to the upside here. So if we blast one more time, you'll see a few more ticks out in the high 50s, and then hopefully in the 60s, and then we'll see if that wants to continue the love to the north side here. One disappointing stock, honestly, for me. I mean, we're making money. It's actually my top stock, so I should rewind that disappointment chatter there. But GE right now, I just thought it would have gone. I mean, I don't know why we're not retesting back up here. The S&P is high. You can see here, we can just call up the spiders right now for you. It's not at its high of the day, but it was just damn close right here. That's the high of the day. So I really thought GE, with not only with the NASDAQ going, but also with the broader S&P going, that we would have had a little bit of a bigger win on that name. So a little disappointed there with GE. But again, my number one stock, and when you're cashing in, I mean, it's hard to sort of be hateful on it, but it's been a couple chicken dinner winners for us today. BOVESPA, Ford, GE, NEO. Wow, NEO. Okay, I see you now, NEO. And there it is, man. NEO with the big move. This is $1 now in the money on NEO. So this one continues to make some ways to the upside. There it is. So we cash out double outs there on NEO. Bang, bang, bang. We waited and we were patient. And there you go, Russell Jackson. The money comes out. You get some bags. And now we are officially $1 in the money on you, NEO. Patience pays off, Mr. Wickens.
Another one to add to that Chinese education group today, this EEIQ. This has been another just crazy halt fest this morning. This is 17 down here. We're at 28 now. Just halted again for this EEIQ, guys.
Brendan, I remember looking that one up this morning, and I was like, and under the market capitalization, it said NA. Non-applicable. I'm sure that's, I've seen that, I've never seen that before. Whatever. So that's very, very dangerous. I know it's not 1.6 million in shares, but these are 10-minute halts here. I'll take my shot at Wafu because there's actually some liquidity on that stock. It's done almost 10x the volume. It's a bit of a cheaper name in terms of dollar value, and it's a bit of a bigger company. So that's the reason why you're going to see on WAFU and not try this out on EEIQ. But there is no specific news on these names. But the entire, I guess, sector or whatever you want to call it, is going to be making that move to the upside. And I'm going to be fading at some point. It's not guaranteed that I'm going to get that trade, but in a minute or so, it's going to open up. And if I get the setup that I like that I mentioned before, I'll be all over it. GameStop is approaching. Remember we talked about that 220? Yeah. We got out last shares at like 217.60, made $1.50 from the high of the day. And we took that last breakout. If it cannot get to that price, there is a bit of a rollover play back into like this range. It's like 205, VWAP 205 into like that 207. So there is some chop here around 215 that you can use off a lower high if you like the bearish style play in here. I'm going to wait for the top to go. That's the play for me, or maybe get a test of 200 even. So GameStop is my top stock today in terms of trades. Gone both directions here, but now is the time that I feel like you play a little bit of patience with this and not overtrade it. I've been guilty of that in the past. I just got some more shares of QuantumScape. It's holding 46. It's just not doing anything else.
Yeah, I like QuantumScape down here, but again, like you said, man, the market has to go. So we've already taken out some profit on the high side there. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, 46 looks like it's going to hold. It also could not hold. So be very, very careful here with that level. BOEX, man, another high coming. We just took out 60s again. I don't know how high it's going to go, but we already have that high tick today of 1065. So there it is. BOEX, again, this is going to be WeWork. So waiting for that one to come through for us. NEO on the drop. We just had $1.50 or so in the money. Here, put this back over here for NEO. So yeah, that's my best out. We probably should have taken it out again at 30, but we're very, very light, man. 5% left on NEO, so we're not going to celebrate that too much because, hey, the damage is already done, man. We already took that out. This was a big move. These were big outs here because the wicks, I just wasn't sure if we would take out 36. When we did, we get out like a ninja right there. Quick time, as my kids would say. What up, B?
So Dave & Buster's is at $51.50, guys. This is a 52-week high for play. Yeah, up 7% again today. The daily chart is impressive, to say the least. Another one set to benefit from reopening, guys.
All right, here we go. So I actually saw that this WAFU was looking like it was going into a halt. It broke through that 20, got that higher, broke through the high, slams back down. I tried to get shares at 19 on the break, and then you get the downside halt here. I talked about this. I would take a bit of a downside halt, but it's a safer play, and I would have more shares on a 19 short that I can use that 20 as my out, as opposed to just shorting into the halt. Now, I did like that setup, and I'm willing to take it into the halt, but it's so much safer to see the reversal, get it when it breaks below that halt price, and then you actually have a concrete out. In this particular case, the way I would like to trade, and I think I don't know if you're probably the same way here, Sean. On the reopen, I will definitely take some out regardless. You mark it on open, wherever it opens, I'm going to get half this position out. And then ideally, if we can break through 16 even, it's that momentum that I want probably into these pre-market highs here, like that 1450. Forget about VWAP. I don't even care to get that kind of a win here, guys. Either way, if we get like that first little push to the downside, I'm going to get out some on the open, reopen. It'll be 5 minutes from now, so I do have 5 minutes to make sure I get my orders right. And then probably bid around that 1450 range to see if we can't get like a $3 to $3.50 winner on the rest of it here. But certainly got to take some out on that market on reopen, given how volatile it's been. It's only been able to stay open a minute or two each time.
QS 45, yeah.
Ooh, QS.
Just looking at QS here. Big size at 46, it's going to get taken out. So that is going to break. So, I mean, that's probably a good out here on it, breaking through that 46. I know Neil's talked about that. But here we go. Let's wait to see what does happen. We're into QS, and we're long at 76. So this rate now is the only loser that we have on board. Neo's come back in, but we've dumped that off. Let's just wait to see where it goes. I want to be a buyer again down here. So we'll put some orders downside and see if we get lucky enough for it to drop down. Ford, keep talking about it. Best out at 38. I think we'll put some more orders there, as it doesn't look like it wants to go through 38. So maybe we just cash this out. A big win on Ford, man. Long 26. We'll take this dime on it. No problems asked there. BOEX, though, guys. Let me clear my throat because bang, we talked about that one. If we were only, I mean, my day would be infinitely better, but we had blocked it on a firm level. I loved 1020, and that's actually what we wrote out here. Those of you asked Neil about his sticky notes, here's mine, guys. Publicly made public because of demand. They're 1020. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter to get these notes. Maybe daily, maybe not. We'll see what's going on with that. I thought I heard Valeria, but did I hear Brendan instead? What's up, B?
Yeah, you'll have to settle for me. Weemy hologram here, 4% again today. We talked about the offering earlier in the week, which was this day. They announced an offering, so they priced that offering. Looks like it was better than expected, so up this morning on that. 650 here, big level for WIMI, guys.
Big level, you say? Yeah, okay, we'll look at WIMI here. WIMI, I guess that's a NASDAQ stock, I would imagine. And yes, it is. Oh, yeah, $6.50 right there, breaking through now. I believe the Chinese name, going through 65, 50. Yeah, I mean, this is such a better spot down here. Let's put WIMI on our board and wait to see if it comes back and retest some of this consolidation, 630 and change through there. It's 29 cents now on BOEX, still making new highs, man. What a great trade. That was breaking that high, a no-brainer for me there. You know, new name, lots of fanfare behind WeWork, so we take that to the long side. We're getting near the highest spot we've been at now all day. There it is, a nice little bid there. Watch out, there is some 75 love there. Take another piece off right here, 73, as we've got to get through that 75. So let's take one more piece off. Hey, we're taking this, man. This is a 40-cent win right now on BOEX.
I think Big Mike asking, do I like a PLL? Gonna have a quick look at that in a bit of a second here, but I want to go back to this. Got away from ATNF, which was, look, GameStop was fantastic, and then watching this WAFU, which I just got into here. But sometimes the halt down is even easier on a name that you've been trading off of a level. Look at this, guys. Look where it halts downside, and look where I started to cover all of the shorts I had in the pre-market. Same price, like right in front of that $9, and then look at the resistance at 9 even. So if we get any kind of a test at 9, again on ATNF, I'll definitely be involved in that. If it can break down here, it looks like 785, a bit of a breakdown trend. So ATNF showing all kinds of weakness. I actually tried to buy a dip, and this was like, I don't really do this very often, but I've been trying to initiate some long positions in the pre-market. I usually only go short, so I am trying to expand the horizons here. Did try to buy a dip a bit early at 11, made the money back on the short side of the trade here in ATNF, and I think we'll have a crack at this if it gets back to 9. But WAFU is open in seconds. I am getting some out right at that open, guys. So that's the plan of action here. Should have just opened up. So I guess we're waiting here a couple seconds. I'll get some out on the market on open, and then the rest, I want to see if it can test that 1450.
Just looking at this NEO trade, and again, I just have so many trades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades on right now, all to the long side as the market's coming down. But the thing is, I'm really happy with my longs because like a stock like Ford, a stock like GE, these stocks really just aren't moving, and they don't really trade like incorrectly. They trade with, I mean, just like GE here, you see this move down. Look what GE's doing. It's not really doing anything. It's because these are industrial names like Ford and GE, known as kind of value, but I still think that there's a lot of growth in Ford, but GE definitely an industrial name that's holding up, right? And so very, very pleased having these on today. It's kind of like a hedge against any of our tech names, but I'm not in any tech names right now. I mean, I'm very, very light as NEO dips back down, like we said, very, very light in NEO, have 5% left of this long. So you could see that like dang, ding, 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 all the way out there. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit more for you. So that's good. Let's just get some out here. Okay, I mean, stocks are now rallying again for me. BOEX breaks through that 75. And did it touch 90? Let's put an order upside there at that 90 level in case it continues to go. But this is a big, big win for us today as we fire off the hot dog cannon right now. Watch out for your faces as this comes flying in. But yeah, 1085. Let's put an order upside on BOEX. What a big day this has been for us. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe, hit all three. Not only that, tell all your friends. And also, man, let's see how Daryl does. He's already been on today. We know he's a fantastic guest. Love talking with traders. He's coming up around 11, I think, Brendan. Brendan has news anyways, but we'll confirm his timing around 11.
Yeah, you got it. 11 o'clock, we'll have Daryl on. Guys, 10-cent music, yeah, just popped up again on volume here. Back to the downside. What a range this has been, 18 to 21. We're all the way back down. Now down 8% again for TME, guys.
That's just, like, it's obviously complete insanity. This stock is probably the most volatile of those. It's an understatement to even say that, at least. That CLE, guys, it's halted again, but that's a downside halt, even more violent than WAFU. I'm watching 18-20 here on TME. There was this range off the open, 18-20, right into this 18-60 area. We dip into it. If it can stall out in front, I mean, I'll play a little rubber band action here. And then on the flip side, back over to GameStop, it's making another push. It just failed again at 250. It's trying to get to that 220 mark, guys. So a couple of volatile lanes. I'm in a halt. I'm not going to play that CLEU because I'm already trading a stock that's halting every 2 seconds. But if we can get any kind of a slowdown in 10 cent, I don't mind playing it off of this 18 area here. And again, GME rejects, so I should be shorting it. But instead, I'm waiting for a 220 break.
Yeah, we've been making the money a little bit now. We'll drop a little bit of a grenade. It's not a huge one yet. As we just took some AMC and we got it out almost right away. We buy that. I told you we were going to buy these 11s. So there it is, 1107, best out 1115. And now we have 35% left. As I was watching GME as well, good thing Neil just talked about that, and that fails. So now we watch AMC come back to the downside here. We're going to hold this until 1090. If it breaks it, breaks it. We're already out. If it does break here, just to let you know, by the amount of shares that I have, it should turn the trade negative. I don't know the math. We've already taken out, like I said, now 70% or so of this trade out. So now we'll wait. Again, I want to give it to the day's high. There's no doubt about that. But we do want to see what happens around 1090 and average in a little bit at this 11 mark. As here it comes. I don't know. What is GME doing? Continuing to fall down. Yeah, 208 now. So as GameStop continues to fall, I do expect AMC. Whoops, that's GE. I do GME. Let's go back to AMC here. I do expect AMC. Here it comes. I do expect AMC to give a little bit of a push back down here. So watch out for this 1090, guys. I'll be a buyer one more time, and then we'll dump it if it breaks 1090. Not going to my grave with AMC today, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not going to the grave with a 10-cent music here, but it just showed the first signs of a turn off of this 18 area. This is 18.15 on this dip, but I was going to give it just a little bit of extra room here. But this is not when I want to go against me like a full dollar. It's just not worth it to me. If I get a shot here and it bounces off 18, I do like the chance. I would have liked the chance to make like a buck off it, and I like a 6 to on a stock like this. I want like a 5 or 6 to 1 win-to-loss risk-to-reward ratio here for me, guys. And WAFU should open up 10-minute halt in seconds. We're going to go over to Brendan here because that ATNF, I know in the small cap recap, is worth a look.
Yeah, lots of them moving around today. Huge ranges and volatility. So let's jump right into things here. ATNF, we mentioned in the pre-market, 14 to 14.50, the high. We're all the way back down to 8, still up significantly though. 41% on the day. 10.50 ends up being the line in the sand, if you want to call it that, at the open there. We popped up right at the open, then just got absolutely slammed. It actually halted, and now we're just drifting lower. Volume already dying off on this one, so might just continue its slow grind to the downside. Next is the next one, 240 to 250, bit of a pivot in the pre-market. Another one that's kind of just grinding to the downside. Not terribly exciting, but stress-free trade so far. I want to mention this one as well because it still might give you an opportunity. MKD, it's not a huge range, but this is $1 down here. So just kind of looking for $1 on MKD. Guys, back over to you.
So it's been 10 minutes and this thing is still not open. I just double checked. It is limit up, limit down. So I do expect it to open at some point. We're getting close. We're not there yet. I talked about 11 to 1150. Here we go. This is BOEX, of course. We'll call it WeWork. I'm not gonna call it BOFlex. Yeah, you can call it BOFlex or WeWork, one or the other. But I want 11 in that 1150 range. I want it pushing the top end. When the rumor was in on this stock, this is where it was trading before. So I do think there's going to be some sellers who will be very, very happy to sell it at that particular price, guys. So I want it to push just a little bit further before I start thinking about shorting this name. And I don't know, Wafu's going to do whatever it's going to do at some point. I'm still in that next, and I'm probably going to take it off if it goes anywhere closer to that $2 range for sure. It does feel like to me GameStop might not be the next trade unless there's a test at 200, which it keeps rejecting 215. At some point, it could be a 200 test instead of that 220 that I'm waiting around for. So BOEX, 11. Wafu, whenever the heck it decides to open up. Next thing it takes about a 2, and then GameStop if it can get to that 200 level.
Okay, guys, Russell, it's hot dog time for you and Lori. Just pretend it's bacon, okay, Russell? And then you'll see, look at Ford, man. I mean, ding, 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 ding. A great trade. We get out on the upside now of Ford. Yeah, really, really happy. We've been making a lot of money. Ford might be my #1 stock in 2021. So I don't know, but it might be right there. And then, like Neil mentioned, yeah, big time mover right there. BOEX, we throw the hot dogs again on this one as that's a big mover. And then we do a little backflip because we can't do it in real life. Here it is, a nice little move there. Wow, BOEX, get aggressive on this day. No reason not to be. And there it is, man. 50 cents in the money now on BOEX. Just wish we had the full load, which we don't, but that's okay. Up, 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 up. I don't really love too many SPACs other than my favorite SPAC of all time. We made a lot of money on Fisker as well. But BFT turning into PaySafe, I believe, March 31st. Get your BFT now while it's on sale, ladies and gentlemen. Down to 15 and change right here. I'm not even going to look at a chart. I just wanted to bring it up because that is going to turn into PSFE. That was voted yesterday successfully, I may add. 11. Good mover here. Let's go, BOEX. Still making move to the high side. Oh, yeah, and by the way, we're killing it again on AMC. And by killing it, I mean going to sleep a bit. But when you buy here and you sell here, that's a good trade. So AMC, ding, ding, ding to the upside. We'll take that one for a run as well today. We're only really negative today on GameStop. GameStop, we did take this trade early. We had it $4, $5, $6 in the money. No, I think the best was, 6 in the money as it goes to 208 off our 202 long. Then it breaks 200 right off the open. We get out, stay that disciplined so we don't have to hold it all the way back down here. But wow, what a great bottom that was. There. So look, I'm long 1. Look, if you don't like the show, honestly, then I don't know what to tell you. But right now, I've got 7 trades on. This is not a show where we sit here, guys, and talk about shares. We talk about this. We talk about whatever. We talk about trading. We talk about education. And I mean, look what's happening now. 5, 7 positions I have right now. Talked about all of them and why I like them. Talked about where I got out. And now, I mean, look what's happening. AMC, 8 cents in the money. BAC, struggling to go. BOEX right now, 50 cents in the money. Ford, 15 cents in the money. GE, 16 cents in the money. Look at this GE bottom. That was my largest trade of the day right here, share size. So big trade there. GameStop, we talked about that. NEO, beautiful bottom pick all the way to the upside. Thinking about getting longer right now. And QS, because I haven't realized this one yet. This also a negative stock. So GameStop and QS, we're waiting to see what happens downside here. 45.40. I heard a blah blah blah.
But before we go to Brandon here, the Wafu still isn't open, and I see you Boxer is what was that name? What was the name there? I missed it. Boxer, one of our guys in the chat. This is the whole page. It actually 10:11. It does say LUDP. It is a volatility halt, so I don't have. There's a resumption just now. Yeah, it just opened now. So Wafu, whoa, wow! I gotta get to that one. It opened at 15. It was worth The weight, Wafu. Why does my chart not want to go over? I hate you. I hate you. There is his opening at 15. I took some out on the open. That's $3 there. I actually wanted $14.50 for the second out. If it's going to be that weak, yeah, no, I'm going to hold on to that one, guys. This is worth the wait. I think we can get back down to like a 12 or 11. It's going to be that weak. If it halts down again, I mean, I'll probably look to cover it if it looks like it wants to halt down again. You know what? Actually, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to hold on to this one regardless, because if it could halt down again, we could go down to like a $10 or a $12 range, and when you're that far in the money, you might as well give it a little bit of a ride. I didn't know why it actually halted that long, to be honest. That's what I was trying to get at. I saw it was limit up, down, volatility halt. I thought 5 minutes or 10 minutes. After the show, I'm literally going to go back to the page and try to read up on that. Brendo?
I can show you this view anyways and give you another one here. 10:18, they had one listed, and then another one at 10:23. So whatever that means. For Wafu, it's back open. That's all that matters. Clean Spark, guys, wanted to mention this one up 3.5%. This says 2.7, but I'll show you in a second here. They bought some Bitcoin mining equipment. So CLSK up, 3.25% now, trying to get above 21. We haven't really talked about cryptos yet, guys.
No, we have not. But one thing that we have talked about, I'm almost out of it all now, guys, is BOEX. Like, look at that, man. Rate up to 11. Hell yeah. Look at all the positions I have on right now. I mean, we just talked about this. AMC in the money, BAC in the money, BOEX, 4G, and NEO. NEO now back to 70 cents. Bang on that one now in the money. I mean, we're long everything here, and I don't have a problem going short. It's just today, man, the longs made sense. We should have probably shorted NEO up here at 36.50. That was a big move, but I don't like to short NEO. That's for sure, as it can rip faces off. Oh, yeah, and we haven't gone back to PLTR, but if you go back, I mean, if you want some reasons, other than I think you should be following us on Twitter here. And I don't know if this was, the best thing to pick up or not. But this, you go back to March 24th. Today's the 26th. This is at 341 right at the close. We added, and I tweeted about this, guys, here. Ugly action on the NASDAQ. I added PLTR to the long-term portfolio. What's up, Valeria? How are you doing? Through the long-term portfolio here, sub 22, guys. So there it is, man. Up a nice little $1 and change. I believe the exact price was $21.84 that we got. So you add about $1 and change onto that one. Up. I mean, it's not up huge, but we take that 5 to 10% here any day, as this one touches 23.50 right now. And it's a long-term, man. All we're doing is adding to what I feel, and you guys make your own choices, man. What I feel are quality companies that have a lot of room to still run. And I just believe Palantir is one of those. Forget about playing options, guys. Like that. Look, play it if you want, but options were really cool in 2020, and I just think that they're maybe a little overpriced right now. I don't know if we're going to get a lot of those crazy runs unless you do start buying when you get those swooshes like we had there on March 24th. Bottom. There's a lot of opportunity there, and we picked up some Palantir. So please, guys, follow us on Twitter, guys, right there, man. We are, thank you so much for this, man. We are definitely in the zone today, guys. You looked at Palantir yesterday, saw that. Giancarlo, that got blocked by Twitter, by YouTube, but I see you there, guys. Money, money, money. You want my Twitter handle? I'll give it to you guys right now. Watch out at tradertv.live. There's the link anyways to the actual post that I made. So that'll give you rated. Thank you to Russell as well, man. Look, I keep saying that we have a great production team, but where's the bacon, guys? We need, Robbie, I'm employing you right now to get a bacon thing on our board. You go creative, whatever you want, Robbie. You're much more creative than me, but that's your new assignment. It's bacon time, Brendo.
So an ETF to show you first, and then we're going to get an update on Europe here. But 2.5% here for XHB. This is the Home Builders ETF. Worth noting because this thing is at all-time highs. So have a look at some home builders today. Big-time strength coming from XHB. As I mentioned, 10:30. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Tell them what is going on, Miss V.
Brandon, European markets hit one-week highs supported by automakers, mining, and oil stocks. CAS Minerals trading in London is up around 3% after it received a final bid worth £4 billion from chairman-led Nova Resources. Back to you. We will check out what is leading here in under 10 minutes, guys.
I'm going to go with this one. We'll pound off because you guys will talk about the names that are moving here, and gave you the plan of action. It took some patience. I actually started hunting for Wafu, thinking about around that 12-13 area. It then halts upside multiple times. It finally gives the look I was looking for. There were two ways I could get in. I got the latter of those two. It does stall at VWAP here off of this level, about like 13, 17 or so. So I do take the rest out 14. That's a clean $4 winner on the second little bit there. But it just this is the thing. You're obviously playing counter trend here. The stock multiple volatility halts. You have to have a plan of action if you're going to be shorting this. If you're taking a long trade in this consolidation, you have some obvious levels off of 8 that you can get out, and you're just sort of like diamond handsing it, holding it all the way up for throughout those halts. That's one thing. On the short side, there is much, much more risk, I think. So you always wait for that exact entry point. And if you don't get it, you don't get it, and you don't make the trade. It was the same thing for me in oh my God. I said I wasn't going to call it BOEX, and I was about to say it there. What will be WeWork. Waiting for that 11 as the first test. I liked it, 11 to 11.50. It did make this one. I see 11 as the actual high here. I don't think it actually printed that. I'm not sure, Sean. Maybe you can confirm. But I got the short at 95. Just got some out there at 85, and then some out here in front of 75 at 72. But again, just waited for the level. Allow it to come to my price. Be patient. Have a plan of action. We're showing you how to make bank on some longs with a good idea and a good set of plans for some breakouts with Sean. And apologies, Sean, I promise you, I put that ticket in really, really early. So we did get that one able to trade here on BOEX. But the 1020 was probably the even better break because you see the consolidation off that level. If you have a good level, you know when there's activity around it. I like the short side. They can both work. Just have a plan, guys. Brendo.
Just saw this one, guys. Co-Diagnostics, fan favorite from way back when, down big time today, 16% after earnings. Initial move higher in the aftermarket, but I guess something was said during the call, possibly. So Co-Diagnostics all the way back to $10, guys.
Don't hold during the call. I got burned once on our live show when, and this is pie in my face. It was an earnings call going on, and it's not that I ignored it, but I wasn't paying too close enough attention to it and got burned. I think it was I actually think it was in a bank. It might have been in Wells, actually.
I know exactly what it was. It was Wells Fargo. So,
yeah.
So I remember that one.
It was bad.
And it was just...
It was stupid. It was stupid.
I mean, I don't think you got burned that badly, but you have to be very, very careful, that's for sure, because when there's conference calls going on, Neil, it's just one of those things where, yeah, thanks for that double shot there, guys. Okay, we came crashing in. Thank you to Daniel on the chat there for the look on Boeing, but it broke through 250. We took that on that break, and not much happening since. Very, very light, so it's given us an opportunity to average in now. So we take some 249s. My average price should be in the 50s, I guess. Where is it? 71. Okay, not great, but we'll wait now. I'm going to give it back to this 248 level, sort of where this party started. You've seen the NASDAQ continue to go. All I have to do is switch this over to ES. This is going to be more appropriate for Boeing. There it is, a nice little move back to the upside. S&P 500, of course. Boeing also, we could look at the diamonds for the Dow Jones 30 as well. But I like Boeing, and we've talked about buying Boeing on all of the dips, man. So hopefully you're able to get that. Boeing's high 270. I'm still long 212. In here is a 208. I can't remember. Square 212, Boeing 212. They're all roughly the same for me, but we'll wait to see on that one. And good trade on BOEX there, that's for sure. BAC ripping to the upside there. We did a little long, but nothing to call in here. I mean, I wish it could break through 60. The bank's kind of been today, not the great action that we had hoped for. But GE, we pieced it off. That was a good trade there at 07. We're very, very light in a lot of these names now, as we haven't added too many new positions. We watched not Boeing. We watched NEO rip into the money there. Another $1. I think it's wise to take some off at 36.20. If that goes one more time, we're going to take that off 36.20. I want to be a buyer now. Forget about 35. It's already showed us sort of its teeth. Downside that is probably going to withhold this 50 level. So we'll buy again here, 60s and 50s, with an idea still that we want to leave something in the chamber in case it does come back down to 35 even. I don't want to give my whole day away if the market does eventually come back down. So I'm not going to build a serious position in NEO, but I will start layering some bids again into the 56 area, then down here at 40, and then we'll wait to see what happens if it does retest back to that low. And then, the only name that's really, I don't know if you're still in QS, Neil, but
when it broke 40, I just couldn't hold it through that break. It just didn't have the legs to it, and once it broke that 46, which was my level, I actually took some 01s at the end because I had that big bid, but I got out right here. This is my wick out. I was going to show you what I think is a worse trade. Well, it's not a worse trade. But it's a more frustrating trade. Like QuantScape, 47 to 46. I end up with a better price than 47. But Wells Fargo was the one that's going to be frustrating for me because I like that out here, like that 39.80. I thought we had a good price that was like leveling off. And of course, it just puts in this. And when volume is this light, I won't use the 65 level. That's why I was sort of going off of this like 39.80 to 39.85 because it was a little bit, it was an iceberg order there before. You had the post-market top, just a little bit more action around there. And it turns out to be wrong. Now it's finally recovering. The one thing I would say is if we do hold, if the market does continue to push, I mean, I don't necessarily mind taking a shot at 40.25 a little bit later on in the session, maybe like a power hour kind of thing if Wells can get there. But you can't ignore the weakness that it had. If it fails at 40.25 again, I might have to think about shorting Wells today. If that's the way it's going to be, you have to be willing to go both directions. Don't get married to a trade. Berendo.
Anybody wondering about this MX up big time today? MX is Magnachip Semiconductor. Here you can see there's a deal. South Korean semiconductor firm, MX. Oh, okay, so it's Wise Road Capital taking MX private here. 1.4 billion, 29 per share. So that's the reason for that bump today for MX. Guys.
I actually like PayPal here as well. Oh, okay. What's AMD doing? Okay, so just on NEO here, 75, 80 cents now in the money on NEO and just waiting. We're waiting right here, guys. I won't tell you the exact price because I have a theory that for some reason the gods of the market don't hit me. So we'll wait to see here where we're going to get out. But trust me, it's very, very soon. I've already sort of given you the level. Okay, it's 36.16 there, just to show you that I'm not crazy and the gods don't give it two craps where my offer is right now. But 36.16. We'll wait on that one coming through. Hopefully we pick the right level. AMC, again, we just stayed disciplined. And I was right. No damage done on this drop. But we were able to take some profits there. Defend 11, defend 11. Again, that's actually a 1097 bid. And then there's the drop through 1090. Oh, man, we should have reversed to the short on AMC. Damn it. Breaking through that 1090 level. Let's do some work now and see where the downside can come on through AMC. Maybe a bid back here. And we can short in this area, but AMC breaking, and I can just imagine that means probably not really. GameStop not really doing too much, so they're not trading so much lockstep today as GameStop just made a move up as AMC made that move down. So we'll scratch that theory off because it doesn't look like it's working, but in the open, it did work nicely. But right now, GameStop with a mind of its own, still up 15%. Congratulations, man, to that deep value guy. I was wondering why I didn't take some off the other day, but yeah, now we're even higher than we've been. So, I mean, people, it's just amazing the fact that some of you Redditors and traders that are able to hold these things and just continue to cash in. So congratulations, man, anybody continuing to play that. And remember what I said on GameStop earnings. I said this thing will blow up. I hope you bought it, man, because GameStop earnings were right here, 186. You're up to 220 today on that. So give me 2 days. It dipped down to 113, and now we're right back up. So that was a call that I made on earnings, just thinking that it could surprise to the upside. It definitely did not do that. But I mean, look, if you hold it for 1 day, you're now nicely in the money, that 10, 20%. So congratulations, anybody on GameStop. I'm not on that one, but I know a lot of you are, so good luck there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy stock. I'm still, look, it's actually making a bit of a wedge to take the top off. And I talk about being patient and waiting for a BOEX. And of course, making that trade in WAFU. But here's the price, right? There is no such thing. Like, the price we paid for everything. You're going to see W key. I like that short off of 17. I think I mentioned it in our little setup. When you're watching along, we're going over our plans. And sometimes you get stopped out. I didn't make top wick here, but I got pretty close to it. And then we got the same test. A second time at 17, fail break. A third time, fail break. Look at this consolidation. If you guys watch the show, that's probably a trade I'm usually going to be looking for. At that time, I was completely distracted looking at other names, and it's fine. Yes, WAFU was a winning trade, but that's a price that gets paid. Like some days, I'm in like 5 or 6. When I was waiting for that whole trade, that wasn't the story. But W key, that's a fantastic secondary or third opportunity. And if you're only trading the one stock, like this is your focus on W key, there would be no excuse if you're shorting not to have at least either this trade here when it broke down back to 17 or the first time through, guys. And whoops. I just did some bad math. You got to take away my degree from Waterloo if I'm going to continuously do this every now and then. So my bid was for more shares than I still had in BOEX. That means I accidentally went long. Do I hold the trade? No. I punch out and pay the spread. This gets right back. Look at this dip price. Okay, this is that break. This is that break at 1050. It goes up to 65 and then holds. So I always use these kinds of areas for outs. Sometimes it's VWAP, but it's so far overextended from that 1020 to 1035 area that I have no problems taking like the 35-cent win on BOEX. Even if it breaks 11, I'm probably just waiting till 1150 to short the same thing. So you make money on the long trade, make money on the short trade. We'll show you the plan of action for both. We both said we had a different look on the stock, that I would try shorting strength and Sean would go long on the strength. And you can see how both those ideas are there for you as an active trader. Brendan's also there for you with the sector watch. A sea of blue, green, you know what I mean. Let's go to him at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, as promised, let's have a look at the S&P 500. I'm going to stand here because that is wrong. This C. C is not down 49.5%. This is a bad quote, so just disregard this one. The rest of this is fine. I double checked, but this SEE in New York is not down 49.5%. Far corner though, Communication Services Group is getting hit once again today. Viacom, Discovery, both A and B class shares to the downside big time today. After that big offering we talked about earlier in the week, they've been lower pretty much every day this week. Energy stocks providing a lot of strength so far today. Along with oil, we have the banks higher, as we mentioned on that news from the Fed yesterday. Again, disregard this. This is not down 50 or 49.5%. That is a bad quote. Consumer discretionary shares. Our friend Mark Roberts talked about this one. L Brands up 7%. Where did it go? There it is, 7.05%, leading the retailers here to the upside. Consumer durables also nicely higher. The entire industrial sector getting a nice bump, including all of the airlines today. Tech stocks very strong. Finally, working back to the upside. DXC, now Pacey, all 3+% to the upside. Semis bouncing today. Some of the hardware equipment makers also in positive territory. Again, nothing to see in the material sector, guys. That's a bad quote for some reason. Let's go back to Sean.
Damn the bad quotes. And who says your boy doesn't short? I mean, let's get on the bear a little bit here. I told you that we would short NEO when it gets to the upside, so we do that. Bang, 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 bang. Now let's see how low this one wants to go, into the 30s now. Yes, sir. A nice win here for NEO, guys. Yeah, let's put another bid on here, 35. If we could, oh, did we just miss that 35? We'll see if we can get that 35. We're also bidding, there it is. Give it to me. We're also, did I get it? Nope. Did I get it? Yeah, there it is. Another 35 bid. So look, man, we're, as Neil sits back down here now, yeah, we go short right now. So short 36.70 out to the downside. We talked about that big run. There's that. I mean, look, honesty, guys. You know, some other shows, they get you guys to buy when they're selling. Not me. 36.16. I told you that's where my offer was. Bad offer because it just rips right through it, but there it is there. We get in and we get out there, in off here, take that dollar win, or I guess 80-cent win there off that. The same spots we got out before, same spot here. It did blow to the high side. And then I said, okay, now let's think about NEO to the short side here, because I just think it's overextended a little bit with the NASDAQ just chilling. Obviously, if we break the high, that's why we're getting out right now. If we break that high, we're super nervous that, yeah, we could get taken out there through 36.60, 36.70 and whatnot. So we're just getting some out, making sure that, hey, if it does go upside, we've taken some risk off now on NEO. So nothing to worry about here. We'll hold the short and see if that comes in. QS, wow, what a bounce on you, my friend. Okay. We did buy this 45.90, and here we go. Back into the money on QS. The longest trade that I've held. We average there, in there. We let it break 46. Not scared of that. We are giving it to 45 and even 43. So 46.60 right now. Worth getting some out here as it comes back to flat. Let's see if the NASDAQ does push it even higher, though, as NEO back a dime in the money now.
And speaking of moves, this one won't age well, guys. This is a TME. Look, in 10-cent, you got to have a bit of a stop here. I want it to go off that higher low. If it takes out the bottom, the slippage that I think can be in there, I don't think is necessarily worth that risk. It actually does a false breakout. So just an idea here, guys. When you get a false break, it's like 1780 is a pre-market low. It breaks through, goes literally 10 cents, not even that, and then slams back up and actually gives some consolidation. So that's actually not a horrible re-entry off 18 if you can slide a stop in at 1775. Once I was out of TME, I'm like, forget it, I'm moving on to something else that's a little bit better. But it does give you that like dollar worth of a move, which you actually, I talked about 5 or 6 to 1 ratio. Ooh. If you get in that way, you do actually get that like 5 to 1 risk to reward, which is something I think you have to have if you're gonna play a name like that, guys. Going back to Wells Fargo, it is again showing some weakness. It just double topped at that 40 even on a lower high. So it looks like the weakness is certainly on Wells Fargo. I'm now not opposed to going into the short side of it if it tests that 40 again.
Yeah, the market's just doing...
Oh, GameStop 200 as well is coming.
Yeah, the market not doing... Oh, GameStop through 200. Okay, and then as you can see, AMC not doing anything. Let's quickly go over there because Neil just mentioned it. Okay, yeah, it wicks to 2... Yeah, exactly. I guess did it... I don't know if it broke or not, but...
No.
No, okay, so there's 200 right there resisting. I have, 204 cents as that very bottom. And look, right here again, 204 cents again. So if you think there's a dark pool there, you are right. Someone's buying there at 200 even, and it's bounced off there once and now twice. So congratulations if you had an order parked in here somewhere. That's obviously the right move on that name. And yeah, look, man, I'm riding bears just as much as I'm riding bulls, guys, to the downside. And there we go. I mean, obviously I have 6 longs and 1 short. But when we see the opportunity and it comes, no problem shorting. We talked about why we wanted that short there on NEO. It's come up, it's come up, it's come up again. And we get that ultimate high tick there. 36.61. I mean, that's the day high. We shorted that. I mean, it got as high as 65. We weren't getting out until it broke 75. So that was a good risk reward there. A beautiful short bang to the end. You can see where we are right now, 54s. We did average in because we took a spot at 44, then we took it again. So the double shot there. Now we get back out. Look where I got out again, 16. So the same prices there, and that's a 40-cent win from the top. But we'll take it as a 35-cent win from the bottom, from the price that we have. Now we're in the money 40 cents as it keeps going downside. Should have took some QS out there when we said it was at VWAP. That was called something called greed, guys, not diamond hands. Diamond hands is means oh man, I'm out of the money, I'm holding forever, or I'm in the money so much that I'm still holding. I mean, diamond hands is one of those things that it's fun to talk about, but you should still trade technically and trade off some levels because you don't want to hold things forever, because a lot of the time you'll hold them to your grave, and I hope that doesn't happen for GameStop for a lot of you. It's making a big move. Go ahead, Neil.
Speaking of holding to the grave, I am actually, look at this level here before the flush off the open. It was like 207, 208 area. You have this chop here at like 210 forming a bit of a wedge. I want 210 as an out, area short at 208 if I can get it in front of that. And next is making a move, NEXT, back to that 240 entry price. It just got reloaded into that particular name. But yeah, this is me. I actually just tried to get shares. It just run away from my... Of course, it just ran away. I'm like 207.77. It ran away from my order there. I just barely missed it on the rollover. This was my stop down here for 200. I did get up, so I wasn't willing to go. I'm not taking the long in GameStop when I'm not sitting down here, obviously. So I'm not going to get that 200 long when it goes that last time. Brendo?
I didn't talk about Boxlight, but just coming back to the downside here, not terribly exciting as far as the range. But Boxlight reported earnings that were better than expected. Trying to hold some levels from yesterday for BoxL, guys.
BoxL, you say? Okay. I'm going to throw an invite to Russell Jackson. You're more than welcome to come on the show. We'll send you an email, as obviously you've emailed us in the past. Thank you for buying. Oh, guys, can you show? Someone said, oh, there it is. Someone said that they liked the merch today. And look what it says on the back. I'd rather be trading. So shout out to my wife that's probably watching. And I'd rather be with you, but if I could be anywhere else trading, and when the market's open, I'd probably rather be here than at home. I don't even know the last time, other than a forced vacation, thanks producer, that I took any time off. So we'll wait to see on this one. GE, nice little out there as we're getting out. We're getting light. I have literally like 1% left. I was just holding this one to see. We just dump it there, get out right there. But if you want to get the merchandise, Miss V, pop that into the chat there as Lucas. Show the there he is. Show that top shot there, Lucas, with the new stuff. And we had some hats around here, but I think everybody has taken the hats, including myself, and I forgot it at home. But we do have, there he is, Rob. Yeah, Rob, it's not Christmas there, buddy. You got to take off that ugly Christmas sweater.
That's
not
more
that
like
it's ugly.
That's a
not
Cosby
that the
sweater.
sweater is ugly.
That's not a Christmas sweater. That's one of those like
I was going to
Cosby
say it's
show
a Cosby sweater, but let's not go there. Over to you, Neil.
Truth is truth, man. I got to call it like it is. And of course, got to call it like it is. Into this next, I got one more ad I can do in front of this like 250 area. Now, I did like 255, 260 a little bit better. If it does break through, and this is a level here at about like 8 o'clock or just after 8 o'clock, either to try to get into and then reversed. It had a reversal right here just before the open. I never average in when it's between like 920 and 930 at that price area. But at this time of day, yep. I'm your Huckleberry. I'll take a shot at it. GameStop, I showed you guys there that I just tried to get a 208 area in short. I missed 207.77 by pennies. It's now at 202, testing 200. And it's time for Money Talks. Let's go to Brennan at the big screen. Ugh.
Hey guys, yeah, real quick, currency time. We'll get a little bit of an update on foreign exchange. I put the Japanese yen up here. Don't think we've looked at that for quite some time. 109.5 got taken out this morning. That's been on quite the run. That is a daily chart. So a heads up on Japanese yen here, up 0.5%. They're going to do a feasibility study on digital currencies. The Bank of Japan announcing that today. So nice pop, 0.5% for the Japanese yen. Euro, the Canadian dollar, the British pound, all solidly higher once again today. Australia, New Zealand as well, even the Turkish lira, Swiss franc, pick one. They're all higher. US dollar weakness coming into play heading into the weekend as well. Cryptos also higher. Bitcoin, yeah, not really doing much, 2.5%, about 2.5% for Ethereum. Ripple again, wow, 6%. Leading, guys.
Yeah, loving Ripple. What up, Neil?
So GameStop broke 200. I mean, I had my stop order out there. I can tell you, it went almost immediately to, I saw 94s in the blink of an eye. So needless to say, unless I was redonkulously aggressive, didn't get that fill. The breakouts long were okay. I mean, you were able to get those, but that 200 break was insane. I hope someone on the floor got it. That was nuts. 184 absolute bottom. If it comes in test 205 or 200 205, I'm going to work into a short, but that was insane. Usually get some liquidity through with my stop order, but absolutely nothing there on GameStop at 200. So waited around for that. And like I said, I had just missed this rollover. I was looking at this in the pre-market, tried to catch that same trade. I was sitting at 207.77, just missed me, and there's a rollover. You got to watch that for that weakness when you see it in GameStop. Goes down just as fast as it can come up, so watch out for those levels. That's why we gave you 200. That's why we gave you that 208 area.
And shout out to Pradley over there yelling out diamond hands. And I hope you had that, Pradley, to the downside. Okay, we're going to take AMC to the downside, but look what we want to talk about right now. Your boy hits the short on NEO, and now we are 80 cents in the money on the short side. You can see that, 65 cents, 66 cents as we continue to break lower, lower, lower on NEO. Just make sure I don't have any crazy orders left out here. We do not. Look at this. Bang, 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 bang. The destruction continues, man. NEO, the only mistake was taking this too early. We had to wait for this flush. We did get that very bottom. That was a bad print for us, but we've made it back in. And now, look. Boom! There it is, man. You can go to the gates of hell, Neo, for this because the stock is going down into the gates of hell. As we're going to touch VWAP right here again. What a great short that was, man. Monster money being made on the downside. And then there it is. We'll talk about AMC going through the short. And now we have that. Let's see where we can get out now. That's really the key. We take some 68s, now some 67s. We're just putting some bids out. Now some 66s, now some 65s, now some 64s. AMC, ring the Reggie again, guys. We are just doing this today. Short? Yeah. I'm your Huckleberry right now. Neil's been hitting the shorts, though, as we go. I don't even know what that means, but it's Neil's saying, so we'll take it. Neil clapping.
It's from the single greatest character in movie history, played by Val Kilmer. Look, I love Tombstone. It's a great film. If you've never watched it, you got to go see it. So check it out. That's Doc Holliday. He's actually based on a real person. Remember 200? Sometimes, and every now and then, you get really, really fortunate, and fate smiles on you because there was a bounce that allowed me to get short in front of 200 again. Now I had to fade in front of it at 198.70. So I got in front of that trade. When the second it slowed down, I got right at that price. I do scalp it off here, and let's look at this. Oh, did I short it for 200 again? Where did I get out? The last out was 197. I get out 197. I kind of always do this, guys. And I look at that pre-market bottom. 193.50. When it tried to get to bounce off that price, I get the rest out in front of 195, in front of those levels. When I'm scalp trading, I always have in mind where I think that resistance can be and get out before it happens. Are you going to miss out? Like if it goes down to 184, am I going to get it? Nope, probably not. If I have if I have a short off the top, that's a different story. But I'm shorting a breakdown like that or like a rubber band play. I'm in, I'm out of GameStop very, very quickly. I have not held this stock at any point today for more than like a minute or 2 minutes. Actually less than that. And it's going to be my top stock. Wafu, the other one that I waited around for, has been doing very well. So to me, if you're trading GameStop every single day, I don't know if it's the right play. But the days that it gives you the moves, that's when you want to be involved, guys.
That's for sure. And oh God, don't tell me I'm going to kick these wires again.
Uh-oh.
Where's Sparkling at? Okay, 35.70, we did drop down there. It did hit that VWAP, and silly me, we were too busy trading AMC and we missed it. We talked about NEO. We didn't get out there. We should have. That would have been a good spot to reload, but whatever. I may reload right now. This is a big move up here for NEO, but we could still look at AMC as it's still making moves to the downside, guys, and it's at its lowest spot it's been at all day. The very first short I put on was this break of 10.75. And adios, amigos, down to 10.50 now goes AMC as the market continues to head to the downside. This is that NEO trade that we just talked about. As I got something in my eye and I scratch it off, that's probably not a good idea. 36, just looking for another spot to load the short up again, maybe 36.15. But again, the market could go. So I want to be very, very careful not to average in too much to this short. Maybe 36, maybe right now using 36.25 as our out. So yeah, let's take a little more NEO right here. If we can get lucky enough to get 10s, we'll take it. We'll punch a little short now in case we miss that 10, but we are waiting for 10s, and then we'll wait for 24, 25, maybe 30, something like that. Yeah, let's give it to 25. Not going to let this one take us out all the way back here. I don't want to short into strength, so 36.25. NEO wants to go if it's given an opportunity, but we'll put some orders back down at VWAP and see if we can't capture another 40 cents here on this move down.
For you, Echo Steve and Vino Veritas is all I got to say, and definitely works for the weekend. Forgot about Next here. It made that push in, and the sort of while the craziness was going on in GameStop, it made that push into that 250 area. I cashed the rest of my shares when it tries to make this reversal. I got a partial fill here. That stinks. But if you get it on the way, like I say, if you get it on the way down, you run the risk of not actually getting the fill. If I catch it on the way up, I'm going to get everything at 45. I get some out starting at VWAP. Is it a coincidence that I get some out here at 35? Where was I getting out when I was holding that 56 short in the morning? Right here at 35, right here, pre-market 35. So it's always around the same plan. I do have some bids in the same ranges that I had all the way down to 225. I don't know that I get a 215 bottom again, especially if it holds VWAP here. It's going to likely break. And at that point, if we take out this level from the pre-market, I'm doing nothing until it tests 285. So it's all patience. I've had 3 separate shorts here. I know there's a lot of executions, but it's 1, 2, 3 trades essentially. Now, once the market opens up, I'm more likely to average into it. In the pre-market here, if this had made that same type of test to the upside, I'm not taking multiple entries in because it's a different set of liquidity in the morning. But when it does that volume post-market and it's already showing me that flush, but not post-market, during the market open, it's a lot easier to make that trade. So next, I'm into it. I like it, and I'm not done with you, GameStop. Watch out for 185 if that bottom breaks. And if it tests back up, I still kind of like that 208 to 210 area.
Yeah, we come flying in right now with AMC, guys. Look where we're short on AMC now. Big time mover here to the downside. Our best out is 55. It just touched 44 there. So on a breakthrough 50, yeah, this may be done. We tested that NEO short one more time, and we actually. Well, this is not. We did get a price down here out. Oh, it must be because it's in these greens. But anyways, needless to say, we did get some up, but now it's retesting the high. Let's look to see what NEO does, man. This actually out was really just finishing that off, so it was a profitable out, to be honest with you. We just should not have averaged in there thinking that we could retest back down to that very bottom. But NEO right here off the market. Wow, what a big move to the upside for NEO. I think this actually could be shorted again. I'm going to try one more time on NEO short, guys. Did I hear Brendo? What's up?
Speaking of shorts, wow. Discovery A, we saw it during Sector Watch there. Again today, we mentioned this 2 days ago, guys, on a huge move to the downside. We're now all the way to 44.5 at the bottom there for Discovery A. This thing was $75 a couple days back, but huge volume coming into this on the sell side. The unwinding of Discovery A continuing, guys.
Man, that's absolutely crazy, guys. And I was just looking at something which I'm not happy about. NVIDIA is trying to hold 500. I saw people popping in the chat. I'm like, what's NVIDIA doing today? As the market's trying to roll over. The NASDAQ just positive and NVIDIA is just negative. I mean, I don't know. They just want to get going. It's been an ugly chart, but like the ARM deal might not actually happen, of course. That was always a risk with this particular name. So all I can say is if it gives a dip into 460, I'm not touching it until it gets down to that price. I've already bought into this one at that 500. It basically gave an opportunity for a scalp trade, or I guess a bit of a swing, but I wouldn't swing into this name. And relatively weak, at least today. I haven't seen what the other chip makers have done, but NVIDIA, if it breaks 499, ooh, ugly, ugly, ugly. And here comes GME to that 185. Perfect timing, because the market's still active. Should be a lot of fun. I think we have our guest coming through. Can't wait. So let's go to Brendo.
All right, guys, we're very happy and very excited because it's Friday, and the past couple of weeks we've been bringing on some of our original and longtime viewers. And Daryl Flinch is back, everyone. Very excited to bring on Daryl Flinch. He was one of our original and longest fans of the show and viewers. Daryl, it's so great to see you once again and to have you back with us. How have things been on your Friday?
It's been a great day, great day. I totally killed Dada, if you guys remember that stock. I was playing off Neil's, the news coming out of China. So Dada has been my best trade today. And I'm still holding one of the stocks, IPOE.
Yeah, there's
great day so far.
Yeah, lots of news surrounding SoFi, which is IPOE, coming in the next week or so. Yeah, that's that Dada animation that our producer Robbie loves. I'm gonna bring in the guys here because there's lots to get to.
Yo, what up, my man, Daryl? Hey. Yeah, great. What's cracking, man? It's great to have you back on. We're super happy to have you. You are a big part of our community. And yeah, congratulations on that Dada trade. Let's have a quick look at it while
it's been so long.
It has. When were you last on?
July 15th.
Jeez,
July
yeah.
15th.
Oh my goodness.
If it's okay, go ahead. If it's okay.
I make a year next week.
Sick.
I'm watching the show.
That's amazing. And let's make this a habit. I mean, you're welcome on anytime if you ever have some free time and you're like, hey, I want to get back on the show. You know how to get a hold of us. Okay, Dada, was that a trade that you've just you're clearing out today, or something that you put on this morning? Because
I put it on this morning. It was a 26 short.
Oh,
right
okay.
Off the open. Yeah, I was looking at the 26 during the pre-market.
Yep.
And I bought so much on the short. Took out a lot at 24.70.
Yeah, you did.
And then I reversed long at 24.85,
Oh, come on.
I think.
All right.
And then I took out some over to 25. So I've been in and out trying to defend the 26.
I mean,
level.
you basically had the short and then the long, Daryl. I mean,
Could have just said perfect trading.
yeah, you're going to try to take our jobs from us. Get this guy off the street, Neil. He's too good. But thanks, Daryl. I'll throw you over to Neil as I got to work out some positions here.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, you might as well just be like, yeah, I was just perfect on that stock today. That's a good way to say, Daryl. It's great to have you back, man. Can we talk about IPOE for a quick second here?
Yeah, sure.
I'm a little curious because we know is it the 9th, I want to say, right? Is it the 9th it becomes official? Am I right about that, IPOE?
I will have to check. But today I bought the dip at 16.90.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm just holding it right now for the rest.
The key thing is that the catalyst is coming back in. You are getting, and this is going to go to the daily chart here, because you are sort of getting a pullback in. And you say 16.90, right? And I sort of look back, it's like, this dip into 17, this dip into 17. Try to hold 17 again in that price area. And then I'm not saying that that's exactly what you were looking off of, but it gives you some confidence when you get a price area like that. Now, is it when you're trading like an IPOE, is this like a one shot in? You average into it, or like if it had it made a push, and obviously it doesn't really go against you.
It was a one shot in because I had my stop just a little bit under it. But it went up pretty quick to 17.30 where I was looking at because I wanted to test 17.50.
Yes.
I broke it earlier. I took some out around 17.70. And I'm just still holding more in. So I did buy a lot. I had that condition in the morning. So once it dipped under 17, I was buying a lot.
Love it, love it, love it. And look, I mean, you can see the trend still holding up here, bouncing off VWAP every single time. We sort of showed you they do have the catalyst coming, of course, when it closes. I mean, Just obviously, this is a bit of a day trade. So my next question would be like a week out in advance of them getting a positive possible catalyst. Do you ever turn day trades into swings, that kind of situation if you're in the money?
Well, I do have IPOE long term.
Okay, so this is it's a separate account. You have it long as well.
Yeah, I still trade. I have 3 different accounts, one long term, one I don't really trade on, Merrill Lynch. That's an old one. But my E-Trade is my long terms, and I trade off Thinkorswim for day trading. But
okay, perfect.
I have IPOE.
Yeah, I just want to make sure like everyone has an idea, because everyone knows that when we're here, we're day trading specifically, and we'll tell you when it's something otherwise. And I want to make sure everyone gets that same look here. Now, we did get a super chat from Melissa. I want to get to it because there's still things happening in the market. Melissa, I'm not still in WAFU. I got out, and maybe I shouldn't have, because I kind of told you I was going to hold it. But when it stalled out in front of that sort of halt range the first time, I got back out. I'll take the $4 every single time. Do I think it's going back up? The thing about this is, in the short term, I usually will say no. Typically, what I've seen, look at this price here when you had a flush in the pre-market. Right around 11.12, 11.20, you had a halt upside that held on the reopen. If it holds this level, we consolidate above that 11 to 11.20 area, then it would be a prime candidate for like an afternoon type of run. But you have to have some kind of a stop. A tight one would be that 11 to 11.20 area. From there, I would go to the first halt to the upside. This is the bottom here at about 9.30. Right, so if it enters into that price range, that's actually a long that I would even consider off of this 8 to 8.50 area, maybe, or if it holds that bottom, get back in if it retook a 9.30 in the afternoon. I like that much better.
2K.
You like that idea? We got to 2,000.
Yeah, we got to 2,000. You know what, guys?
Thanks, guys. It's all Daryl, though. It's not me.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Exactly. Let me take this over right now, because honestly, guys, we have Daryl, and shout out to you, Dan McIsaac, as well, saying shout out to having real traders making real trades on the show. There it is, guys. 2K. Let's get that to 3K. Valeria's wearing her green. Daryl, help us out now. What's that shirt you're wearing right here? And you know what, Daryl? Go ahead.
I got the shirt.
Let's see
I got a sweater.
What?
All right.
Look at this guy.
Favorite one.
There we go. So we're all wearing the same.
Always be trading. I got a custom seat.
Oh my God. Okay.
Did you sew that on yourself?
I just, okay. And the mug? Okay, that's it. Superman is in the building.
Go. I'm gonna get the hat too.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. I like the snapback. The trucker hat, also very good. So I just want to point out to everybody watching, Daryl's crushed it today on his trades, and you notice the swag that's around him. So as we go here, we surround ourselves with good energy and good thought, and boom, bang goes the dynamite.
I just want to show you. I started doing
Who is this guy?
Sticky notes, all right?
There it is. There it is. So let's go side by side. Let's go side by side now, guys.
There's Boeing fading it at 250, 251.
Good job. There it is.
I didn't take it, but
twinsies. What's up, Daryl? Good little look there. Hey, look, man. Whatever helps everybody. We talk about that all the time on the show. You got to have your right plays and focus on. It's very, very busy. I love your sticky note. Maybe we'll post that every day as well. Look at this Neo trade. Look, this is what happened to me again, and it just. If you're a trader like me, I've had 201 fills today. So some of them are going to be like this, where you just get taken out here at 36.25. It wicks all the way up to 36.35. We get a fine out. There's no problem with the out, 27. But when that fails and then comes right back in, we smash City again here with Neo. Smash that. And you can see multiple fills here. Purple, if you're joining us for the first time, are short sells. So there it is. Smashed it short again on that fail. So we lose there. Smash it. Ding, 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 ding.
Here
all the way
we
to
go
the outside.
on IPOE, finally testing 1770 again.
Hey, Daryl, I'm the host.
Taking some.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing around. A good play there. Yeah, I can never stop, right? So there it is. Nice call there, Daryl. What was your, bouncing up? Are you getting out at certain levels there?
Yeah, I'm selling some shares here. I'm still holding a lot of shares from the 1690 buy. So I just been selling from 1750, 1770.
Great, yeah. So that's
I'm looking for it to break 1775 and go ahead and test 18.
Well, let's hope our boy Chamath comes out and gives a nice little word about that IPOE. A shout out here, Russell Jackson. Looks like you and Daryl going back and forth. Daryl's in the house right now. Is Vegemite in Canada? No comment there. Valeria Floss and Daryl likes. Yeah, we're getting the likes now. Thank you so much for all that, and thank you for the love. And there's the Valeria Floss right there on the screen. But good talk here. I just want to update some of our traders here. Okay, look, man. I mean, QuantumScape was my best trade yesterday. We talked about this very, very bottom. We were long right here, embarrassingly long, and then it just rode it to the upside off the NASDAQ break as well. But today, it's a little different story. We only have a little out there. We're not in heavy because I saw the move yesterday and what can happen. So we just bought again at 45.61. We're trying to defend this 45 area, which is right here, so we can throw it back down. Just to give you guys an update, I'm not getting anything out. I know there's size here. Has nothing to do with that. Let's wait to see if it can hold. I do have orders right now at VWAP, as that'll put me into a profitable trade. QuantumScape still in trouble, but hey, we're only down 1%. Look at the NASDAQ here, cracking as AMC, the only short that we have, still nicely in the money off that bottom. Let's see if we can't make more bottoms here. Neil, are you into GameStop again?
Not yet. I mean, GameStop never actually got back to that. I like 208, of course. I'm not taking that 200 a second time. I'll maybe give it to VWAP 208, or maybe if it takes out the bottom. It did test 185 and broke a little bit earlier in the session. So 184.30 is the current low. The one I wish I had hung on to, and I talked about this on the way back down, where I wanted to cover that BOEX, and I don't know, maybe I should have hung on. I think it's this exit right here. I'm like, I should take some off because there was a pullback in this range. I'll take another leg off. Maybe a bit of a mistake because one of the things I could have considered doing is maybe even, not getting off here, add to the position if it does a rollover at 75 with a tight stop at an 80 for the shares that I added on, and then I could have been taking some off at 60 and then still have some for that 40 range. Anyways, it's just me thinking out loud here. And I'm sort of going to come back to you, Daryl, because when you review your trades, I'm very, very guilty of this. I'll be critical of when I won on a trade, I should have done this, I should have done that better. Do you when you go to review your trades, which I'm sure most successful traders do you have one thing that just gets at you and you have to get to that first? Oh, I love it. There's the journal right there, man.
I review it all the time. Well, now I use Excel. I don't write it too much on my notebooks, but I put notes on how I trade. I always look at the history. That's so important to me. Previous support levels, resistance, and all that stuff. I do it all the time. Also, when you said that, I think a couple of days ago, you said that you review your sleep habits and stuff. I'm like, maybe I should start doing that too.
Well, I don't know. I have a kid who's 4, and it's I noticed it when, of course, you're a new parent and you're not sleeping a heck of a lot. And I would know if it was a really, really bad day, it was wait a minute, I'm making more keystroke errors on a day like that. I'm misplacing stops. It's little things like that you want to make sure you pay attention to. We always got to pay attention to Brendan. The market's not going anywhere here. Brendan, news?
Just watching this route. There was a little story this morning. It was earlier, but Daryl, an auto insurer for you, ROOT Citron, guys, talking about $70 on route. So it's 15 right now. Big pop on that, guys.
70? Okay. Daryl, I've just told our executive producer that I am personally sending you a hat. So you let me know if you want a trucker hat.
Thank you, Sean.
Hey, no problem, man.
Snapback.
Or snapback. Same one I got. Okay, yeah. So we're sending that to you. We'll be in touch.
Thank you.
So thank you for continuing to support us. Least I can do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, least I could do, man. Okay, AMC looks like it wants to crack through 1050 again. Where was my bid? I thought, you know what? I don't have any bids. That's smart of me. I thought we were bidding below 1050 here, which we would have got these 40s. So let's wait to see if it still cracks. The ES making moves to the downside. So everything is fine for us. Absolutely no problem. It's just my QuantumScape right now is the only thing that's in a little bit of trouble here, banging off that 45 right now. We did take one more fill. So let's just wait to see what does happen here with QuantumScape on this 45 level. That's the one that's in trouble for me right now. But other than that, everything chilling. My arch nemesis for for a longer term position, Palantir right now. Although my average price off that 21 buy the other day, average price I think is now 1750, something like that. But Palantir, just an ugly stock, man. Like the NASDAQ, like I was saying before, this is the ES, but market goes up, Palantir still somehow finds a way to go down. So there's just a lot of selling. This is a 20-year-old company, and there's a lot of shares that come to market about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So be very, very careful, guys, here with PLTR. Still making moves, but I'm looking at this 22 level. If we can get down there, I'm a buyer of more Palantir shares, guys.
I'm not saying I'm a buyer of Root because I'm definitely not. But did you say 70, Brendan? Was that the number that they gave on? 70. Okay, fair enough. So 30 top here. Anyways, we're trading at 15. I look at this last little cluster at around like $17. So I wouldn't fade this. This is like 11:15. It's that time of day when you want to be a little bit more patient. But if this one continues to go parabolic, my first look would be at 17 even. It's already given you some pretty sharp pullback, so it's pretty unlikely at this point that I think I'm going to get an actionable trade here before the end of the show. But 17 would be my first look. From there, sort of the obvious 20 levels. Daryl, I know I do a lot of like short side trading here. Just in terms of like overall like style, like we've seen a little bit of it here, but I mean those are your perfect trades here that you had this morning, IPOE and Dada, which I mean those are both fantastic looks, and I'm glad you guys got to all see that perspective. Is there anything else that's sort of in your toolbox when it comes to like short selling or maybe trading in some IPOs? Like, just tell us a little bit about what else you were doing on a day-to-day basis in your trades. Is this normal for you, like only taking 2? Or do you have a little bit more that you get involved in?
No, I had 4 trades today, 4 different stocks. I had Tilray and, of course, Carnival. I usually trade Carnival and save on a daily basis, just in and out. I do a couple of trades off their support and resistance levels. I look at the pre-market, try to find levels on there, and maybe 10 to 20 days out, trying to find support and resistance levels. But I like double tops, double bottoms, working off those for short plays. But this is important. So last time I was on, I said that I would watch your videos again. And the reason why I did that is just to find, Neil's and Sean's tendencies of what they do and why they are making the trade. So that's important. You got to figure out why, these guys are making the trade so you could put it in your plan. I trade my own way, but it was helpful just, learning how you guys trade so I could, put it in my process and put it in my plan.
And I love that learning experience. This is one of those things too, because when we were looking at WeWork, I mean, whatever, we'll call it. We can call it whatever we want today. We'll call it WeWork, even though it isn't yet. And Sean was in the long, and I started my short a little bit earlier because of I like that 11 level. But when Sean talked about it starting to slow down and getting that little top, I was like, oh, okay, well, if the long is starting to be a consideration to get out of it a little bit more aggressively at that top, maybe I shouldn't wait for it to break 11 or for 98s or 99s, and I ended up only getting 95s. You know what? You corrected me on something here today, because I say all the time, if you have a good stock on the week, you have something that's on your watch list that's made you that money, you should always continue to have it down there. CCL today, it's been my number 1 stock this week. I have some good trades on it. I didn't look at this at all today, which is a little ridiculous because I don't know. I'm sort of looking at, go back to the 24th here. You had this chop. It's been like these little downward trends. It was a good long break that we were able to take earlier, but it was just this little failure. Should have been able to see that one coming as a bit of a rollover. I like when it has that tight little cluster in the pre-market that gives you a breakdown trade, especially if it's going with the trend. So thank you. And we talk about this all the time with the community. Like, trading alone is hard. So getting that little reminder, it's like, hey, watch this symbol. That's been a good one. Stick to your plan, all that kind of stuff. I love that you're reinforcing it. I mean, I can't say enough. You've been an awesome guest here. And like Sean said,
that's why I'm grateful that I found your channel. Next week is when I make a year. I was going to come on next week, but my brother's birthday is today. So shout out to my brother, Steven.
Happy birthday,
I love you,
Steven.
man. Miss you. He's up in New York. I'm in Dallas, Texas. So I haven't seen him for a while.
I forget the name of the place. There's like a barbecue joint that I lined up once for in Dallas, and it was like the greatest barbecue I've ever had in my life. The brisket was insane. You had to line up for like an hour to get in that place on a Saturday, but I can't remember the name of it. Maybe you know it, but it'll come to me. Dallas
I don't know
is unbelievable.
I'm pretty new to Texas.
Oh, okay.
I'm from the Northeast. I lived in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I lived in New York, New Jersey. So I only been out here for a year. And I must have brought the cold, because in February, man, when it snowed, nobody knew what to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't have
We know what to
shovels.
do.
And it was nuts out here.
We know what to do around here in the cold. We know what to do with these trades. Just for quick seconds, the market is still, it's kind of making moves here. That wedge that formed on GameStop at 208 here on the upside is sort of doing a very similar thing at like this 192. I've seen this a couple of times in the past, and it can be worth it for a bit of a break. Now, if it breaks up, I'd be looking at like 195 into this like 198 area. And again, this is a relatively tight type of a trade. If it breaks 195, I'm trying to get in like, 195.01 to 195, maybe like 21, something along those lines. And then if it immediately doesn't work, I don't want to hang on to that. So I like the wedge it's forming. It's similar to this one. I was willing to fade into the short off that little fail break to 220. But for the long trade, I'm only taking the breakout here, guys. So the plan would be not to be in this trade for much longer than like seconds or less than a minute, but we'll see what happens. Looking 195 break on GameStop. Picking my spots. This would be trade number 5 on this one. Brendo?
Extreme volatility continues in some of these online education companies today. This is GSX. We got all the way down here to 49 and change, which corresponds with this little level on the daily chart. But this thing just popped $5.50 off that low. It's still 16.5% to the downside, though, guys. Crazy moves on some of these.
All right, and just to let you know, Daryl, that it's already being worked. So the hat is already, yeah. So
Nice.
We have a good team around here. And
Next time I come in, come on, I'll wear it.
yeah, man. Hopefully, I mean, let's hope there's no shipping delays. But yeah, we'd love to have you back on. We've already exchanged that invite there. Yeah. Okay, Neo right here. Look, look at all these trades today. I looks like a maniac here today as Neo. We're still not positive on the name, but it's very, very close. And what I'm going to do now is, because of the sticky note, shout out to Daryl on that as well, we are going to wait to see what happens at 35. So we're in now, very, very light. And I don't, again, like, this is how I trade, and I don't have a problem telling you guys, like, when we're going to put on, bigger size, just like you mentioned today, Daryl, on your, your big data trade, your big IPO trade, IPOE.
Yeah.
And so right now, if it comes into this area, just like we loaded up before, look at the NAS. This is the ES. Let me switch over quickly, guys. I prefer the NASDAQ. I switched over for you, Russell. You mentioned you preferred the ES. There it is. NASDAQ looks like it wants to turn red. So we will sit here with some orders now and see if Neo does drip down here. And by dripping, maybe it'll just rifle down and we'll get picked up. But right now we're long, and we're long Neo right here, man, 35.60. So we're long here. And we'll wait to see. I don't trust this VWAP, so it's because it's just been bouncing around and really nothing to do. I like this 36 level. So let's see if we get back up here and take 40 cents, and then we'll see if it does continue to rip up. But with the NASDAQ making these moves, man, I'm just hoping to get longer down here, and then we'll play off this bottom. So that has to work. AMC, we missed the bottom again. Big trade, a good trade for me, positive on it today, and this was a good one all the way down. We did take some out near that 50 level. It looks like it was a 48, but here we go right back to these levels. I'm going to get out the rest if it does break back above 75, but for right now, check back on GameStop, but I think
it's near the lows.
It's at the low, so we could probably short this again right here, AMC. Let's add to the short position and see if it retests 50, guys, knowing that 75 is going to be our out.
Yeah, exactly. And look, sometimes AMC, GameStop do trade off each other, and that's why, immediately I saw some say AMC put the chart up. If we break 190, I threw it in the chat. I'm not taking a 195 break if this higher low on GameStop doesn't hold. That's just the way I like to frame these things. A good question here. Be the third. Thank you for the super chat. Do we have a video on how to make decisions based on the futures? I think we talked about this. I know on our Market Wisdom channel we have a video about the futures.
Market Wisdom.
And one of the things we did mention was using it as a bit of an indicator. Every now and then you'll hear us say, okay, I'm in this short or I'm in this long position, but the market or the NASDAQ is testing a key area. And you know what? I'm going to have to make this up a little bit on the fly. Let's just use this like 39.20 area here on the ES because we're right here. let's say I'm in like a short trade in something like a GE or whatever it might be, and we're testing that 39.20 level, and I have like a stop area that I like, and I'm in the money on the GE trade, but we're breaking the highs. A lot of times I might say, hey, look, I have a stop on GE, but I'll take it out for profits on a reversal if this key level on the futures is going to get taken out to the upside. So I like to use the futures in that regard as a bit of a secondary look, not necessarily to get me into a trade, but for a lot of times say, hey, look, it's this counter trend. I'm in the money. Why am I hanging on to this? Especially if it's going to be a name that's going to follow along with the futures. So we do use them. Check out our Market Wisdom page. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot there, Daryl. I'm assuming you already check out that page.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Every new video I watch it, of course. Anytime I have a chance to learn something new, not really new, but usually I know what you guys are talking about. But yeah, it's a good review. Definitely Market Wisdom is definitely a good channel to learn. If you're learning, that's where you want to learn.
Yeah. And traders learning is never done. That's the reality. And ooh, that was a failed break on GameStop at the low of the day there.
Yeah,
Brendan,
we just had that actually. So
you get it?
I mean, not GameStop, but we had that fail break up there on AMC, and we just talked about averaging in there. So we got the 70s there, and now we're just cashing it out, man. 60s and 55s and 54s, and just topping off the day a little bit. We also do, as we're planning, man, I still have some bids lower. We did take that Neo trade right here. So now our average price, not bad, 53s. It's at 37. Whatever. I'm going to give this I'm going to give this to the end of the day here. Are you? What's your IPOE doing? Let's check back on that. Okay, it failed at that 770. Let's go, market, man. You can come back up here, market. I give you my blessing on that one. As there it goes, Neo now trying to make moves. Brendo.
Another one, guys. If you're watching Tesla, just a heads up. Just saw this headline here: Muddy Waters lashing out at Tesla and Elon Musk specifically. They're talking about the full self-driving software. So they're kind of signaling that out, saying there's still some huge questions and issues with it. So just a heads up, Tesla just getting sold hard here, to say the least, on volume as well. So volume coming in, day lows for Tesla, guys.
Yeah, I made a nice bottom at 600. Well, I mean, in change. I mean, actually, it was a little bit above 600 before. So let's watch that level. Oh, God, there's some ugly scaling, some dark wicks up there at 880. If it got to that price, I would have sold. But anyways, Tesla, I'd watch for that 600 level again. It doesn't... I don't know, this market doesn't necessarily have the feel like it's going to do one of those crazy flushes down. So I don't know that we get like that 600, but when Tesla has its own catalyst, you might see that a little bit of an extension. We don't have too much time left with just
give
a few minutes.
Out?
Sorry, say again, Darryl?
Yeah, give some shout outs to some of the fans out there.
I was just about to say, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, Marlon, Karen, Steve Turner, Trader Joe, Lori, Marcelina, Sir, Brittany Grant, Reza, the heavy hitters. You got Russell Jackson, Manny D, Chicago Rolling Records, Jerry, Tyrone Biggums, Wokey One, Paul G. King Capital, Brent. That's all I could think of right now. But if I missed you, you guys are the best. The fans that make this show. Love you guys.
Hey, man, shout out. Let's just do another shout out to Daryl. So, yeah, thank you so much. The money bag's coming through for Daryl today. We wish you the best of luck on everything. We know you'll be with us every minute you can be. So, shout out to everybody that Daryl just did. Shout out to your brother as well. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, everybody just keep enjoying the show. You see the mad love, and I think that there's a big difference between our show and other shows. We're trying to build a community. We're trying to educate, and you've given, honestly, Daryl, such kind words and really just stating the obvious for us, and that is that we're going to try to keep on pushing forward, and not try. We are keep on pushing forward. Keep bringing.
Thank you, Sean.
New
Neil,
hot stuff.
Arun, Brandon.
Yeah, shout out to Arun actually. What up, Arun?
Team.
Do you like Arun's shirt, by the way, Daryl?
Everyone loves
the what?
The Rune shirt. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I only
you
bring
talking
that
about
up.
His lucky shirt?
It's always talked about on the show. So.
Wait till we auction that thing off one day. It's
Shout
gonna
out
go
to
for I don't
yeah.
want to think about it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Check out AMC, guys, here on the reload. Quickly, before we go over to what day it is here, AMC on the reload there. What a great trade that was. We just took it out there at 10:45. Let's see if it wants to continue to fall, but really happy. We're out of 75% now, as these are the bottoms. So how many times are going to watch that? I don't want to miss these bottoms, so we just take another piece out right there. Neo still struggling to get up, but that's all good. What up, V?
Hey Daryl, hi, so great to see you joining us again. Thank you for always being a real deal, being dedicated to the show and to the community. I wish you all the lucks on your trading path and keep up the great job. I know you are doing right there. And trading family, we love you so much. We wish you a great weekend, rest well, and we will see you on Monday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Happy National Nougat Day, everyone. Daryl, do you like nougat? Do I pronounce it right, by the way?
Not really, but I love the green shirt.
That's what I'm talking about. Get all the love. Thank you so much, Russell Jackson, for the rune shirt auction. You'll probably have to fight him for that shirt because he loves it, but I'm not going to do it. He'll beat me up. That's a cold hard truth. I love nougat. I'll take it all day, every single day. Honestly, I can't say enough about how fantastic guest you've been, and shout outs to everyone in the community. That's what it's all about here. Dead serious, guys. We absolutely love the interaction with you guys, like talking through the trades, and we get that feedback. It's a heck of a lot of fun, and I can't wait to have you back here. And shout out and happy birthday to your brother. I wish we didn't have to go, but it's 11:30 here.
It went by so fast. Next week, Carnival earnings day. David Buster's earnings as well. That's probably why it went up today. Next week.
I hate play. Dave & Buster's is one of those, like, it's not the bane of my existence.
I have it long term, so.
Brendo, before we get out of here.
One last time, guys. Yeah, Daryl, thanks so much. Great to see you once again, as always. Why don't you do this? Tell everybody why we should be at 200,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, man. It's been almost a year where I started watching you guys, and this channel grew from like 10,000, I think you guys had, and we need to get to 200. It should have been already. We should have been already to 200,000, but we'll get it this month. We have to do it. We have to get it done. And this channel is the best. It's been a great blessing just to watch you guys. Even if I don't trade, you know, Brandon, when you say a stock, I write it down. I look at it later, you know, try and figure out why is up, why is it down. And then, you know, maybe during the week I start trading it. But yeah, little things like that.
We do your homework for you, Daryl. Great stuff. Thank you so much once again. Neil, take it away.
So much, Joe. You do your own homework. I saw that book, man. You do a great, fantastic job for the entire team. Look, first, everyone, have a great weekend, of course, for the entire team. Miss V, we're holding green, and you got the green shirt on. Thank you for that. Sean's got the merch, for sure. Brendan, as always, looking too dapper with that haircut. I don't know where he gets it. I'm Neil Roberts, and that is Daryl, one of our longtime guests, and we love him. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Daryl. Bye, guys.
Bye.